Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins, and that's not a moon, that's a space station. How are you doing, everybody? Hope you're having a great afternoon. Hey, Oilers victory last night in overtime. They kind of do it the hard way against the New York Islanders, but they do get the win. Nashville Predators in town tomorrow as the Oilers will try to sweep that season series. Already the third and final meeting of the season between the two teams. Victor Arvidsson may not play in that game. All Chris Knobloch said today after the Oilers practice was that it was a maintenance day for Arvidsson, 50-50 for the game tomorrow. He was asked, so would you go 11-7? Would you call up a forward? He just said, we'll see about that. So that is your quick update there from Oilers practice. Hope you're doing well. You can get in touch. We invite you to participate in the program. And I have a feeling you or someone in your life may want to today at 780-218-9999. That's the EST inbox. You can jump into the Nasty Chat, which is on our YouTube stream. If you are taking it in through video there on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up as well as we endeavor to get to 100 every show. Follow Jay on Twitter at Jason Milne. Follow me at Reid Wilkins and the station at YEG Sports Talk. You can also get the show wherever you get your podcasts. Stream it live on iHeartRadio or on the TuneIn Radio app. Milne, how are you doing?
I'm doing splendid, Reid. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. I thought, we saw some really prolific play last night from some of the Oilers' top players, led by McDavid, who had 4 points and had 14 shot attempts. He had 8 on net and then 6 others that were either wide or blocked. Elite finish by Draisaitl on really both his goals. I mean, the power play one-timer, which I know the power play has been so much of a discussion point, right? And what's one of the questions we would get asked or people might either complain about or have concerns about? Well, they know they're going to Draisaitl for the one-timer. Yep, that's because he's good at it, and it's gonna start going in. And the thing is, and McDavid said it, and we've talked about it, it starts with the retrievals on the power play. Take a shot. Where's the puck going to go to? Go get it, and then play a bit of road hockey from there. And we saw with Draisaitl, often from that angle, he doesn't score clean. But he shoots it hard, and he shoots it quick, and he hits the net.
Accurate.
And it goes in off Sorokin's hip.
Yep.
He doesn't necessarily have to pick the top corner or put it in right under the crossbar. He can almost aim for the middle of the net. And even if he catches the goalie moving across, it still has a chance. I mean, he's scored plenty of goals like that over the years that have hit the goaltender and still gone in because he's shooting it before he gives the goalie a chance to set up. Would have loved for them to put it away in regulation time. We'll talk about that here in the Oil Understood with GCL Diesel coming up in about 15 or 20 minutes because Chris Knobloch offered some interesting comments about that. But I did have this fantasy that he was going to get to 1,000 last night. He, of course, being Connor McDavid. And when the Islanders scored to cut it to 3-2, I thought, chance for maybe not 1 but 2 empty net goal points to get to 1,000. But they could not put it away in regulation time.
But they did win, Reid. They did win. They went 100% on the penalty kill. Not that many shows ago, you said, hey, let's, if you're the Oilers team, try build on something.
Yeah.
Well, they can build on a lot of things from last night. 50% on the power play, 100% on the penalty kill, and a victory. And an emotional victory. You could sense that the team was pulling for Connor. Connor in the post-game interview expressed he showed some that he is human, that he does have real emotion, that he is looking forward to celebrating this milestone in his career. I think it was a win-win. Draisaitl remains on fire, 10 points in his last 6 games. I think that's good, but now they've got to keep it rolling against a team that they should be able to handle.
Well, as I was saying, trying to sweep Nashville. The Oilers have not won 3 in a row all season long. Looks like Pickard will be the goaltender tomorrow. Not a big surprise there after Skinner started the last couple. But we will, as I said, Knobloch made some interesting comments. We got a couple actually from last night and one from this afternoon about some of the storylines that they blew the lead, that the PK was a good thing, and about Jeff Skinner, who didn't play a lot last night. and was walked around, leading to the second goal for the Islanders that gave them some life. I also wonder what positionally happened there, because that was actually Perry's side of the ice, and you kind of see Skinner looking, and then he goes, but then he doesn't. You still got to check the guy once you get there. And, look, it's always so great talking about the Oilers, right, to Oil Country, because the fans are so passionate and watch for so many details. And, I still wonder now, is this, like, are they just going to need the big guys to do it every night? Because they're not as deep. And some of the guys who thought were going to be secondary scorers aren't really doing that. Maybe they will still do it. But, I mean, this was a big boys leading the way last night. McDavid does it. Draisaitl does it. Bouchard does it, even though he and Ekholm had a couple of tough plays. They're also on the ice so much that they will get scored on sometimes. But, can the Oilers, how many games are they going to win if McDavid and Draisaitl don't really go off? Now, you could say that's sort of, I guess that's pro sports. The best player's got to go out there and do it. But with Skinner not playing a lot, Arvidsson's now apparently banged up, and he's been, I think, not to put words in your mouth, much quieter than you and I thought he was going to be on the whole. I would not say this is a banner season for Nugent Hopkins to
Not
this
right
point.
now, no.
So there we've kind of listed off the top six guys. Even for Hyman, though I think the work rate is always there with him.
But here's a counterpoint to that, okay? Is that they got off to a better start than they did last year. And the top guys weren't going. Right? They've been able to maintain a 500 level here. And let's be honest, I mean, it took a while for Connor and Leon Connor was hurt, obviously, but the top guys have not been carrying this team to that 500 record. Correct?
Well, Draisaitl's been the best overall forward.
Sure.
Yeah, but sure, yeah, even before the last couple of games, you would have said it was overwhelming from McDavid. And now he's got, 7 points in his last
and that's
games.
the McDavid effect.
But
that's what that guy could do, which is just mind-numbing. But thankful he's an Edmontonian.
Yes. All right. So we will dive a little bit more into the Oilers as we move along. We got some fun topics today. We'll talk about the Grey Cup and some other CFL stuff. David Beard will join us in studio, the local guy, former Elk, now plays for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. What is it called? All-CFL now? A CFL All-Star?
Yeah.
On the offensive line, nominated for another year-end award as well. He is going to be joining us here in studio. So that's good to have David. Today, I don't know if people noticed this. I see random stuff like this on Twitter. The sexiest man alive was named by People magazine. And according to them, it is John Krasinski, who played
beautiful man
Jim on The Office.
Yeah.
Now, he has a much more masculine image since he played that character, who was sort of a goofy, subversive type, I guess, on that show, right? So anyway, he's directed, A Quiet Place. What did he do this year? That movie If with the imaginary friends and stuff like that. So he's become sort of a
John Ryan,
and he did, yeah.
John Ryan,
was it in a show or the movie? Yeah. So he's become sort of a more leading man, director,
a bit of a Hollywood hunk.
Yes, thank you,
right?
Hollywood hunk. So he has been named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. So our off-topic topic. Oh, I can't wait for this one. And now I want to say before I ask the question, we want to hear from you. And I recognize, I know we have a lot of females in the audience. Like Phyllis has posted today. We got Joelle, who's one of our most loyal nasties. Obviously, Jasmine, our coworker, is in there. But I still feel on a sports station, it's over half a male audience. Probably well over half. So I'm urging the guys out there. I also want you to get a response from the woman in your life. Or women in your life. I mean, we can include wives, girlfriends, sisters, female cousins, your mom if you're comfortable asking, your grandma. The off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install, all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. Here it is. Who is the sexiest male Edmonton athlete of all time? The sexiest male Edmonton athlete of all time. Now, I spam texted probably close to 20 friends and current or former colleagues today. Well, maybe more than that because I got a list. And just to get everybody thinking in this area, here are some of the responses I got. And these are just the order they came in. And I'm not going to say who got. Well, afterwards I'll kind of say who got the
These
most.
would be local media members, right?
No. These are primarily not in the media.
Okay.
I probably texted 3 or 4 media people.
My apologies.
That are friends, but this was a lot of more just friends. Like I texted Zip, for example. Okay, he was one person I texted. A lot of people. Okay, I texted one of my best friends. A woman who I've known since university. She lives in Calgary now. I said, who do you think? So here are some of the names that came in. Most sexiest Edmonton male athlete of all time.
It's already going off in the thing, and you know it's who you think it was going to be.
Mark Messier, Craig Simpson, Mike Riley, Sheldon Surrey, Ryan Smith, Marco Sincar, Eric Brewer, Brock Ralph, Leon Draisaitl, Doug Waite, Jason Giambi. 2 people put in Giambi. I didn't even think of him. He was a trapper. Adam Henrique, Matt Stairs, another former trapper. Oscar Clefbaum, Sean Fleming, Jason Strudwick was mentioned by several people, including himself. Warren Moon, Matt Dunnigan, Evander Kane, and Stuart Skinner. Now, I think Surrey is going to maybe win this unofficially. Let's put up the picture from the ESPN body issue from 2009. So ESPN, I don't know if they still do it. So that's Morrow, Surrey, and Cogliano posing nude with strategically placed hockey equipment, or I guess Cogliano has a towel on. Surrey's using that helmet. If you're not watching on YouTube, this is a picture of they're all naked. Morrow is holding a stick with gloves, and his one glove is in front of his private area. Surrey is seated with his legs apart, but he has a helmet over top of his sensitive male area, and Cogliano actually has a towel on. He's the most clothed of all of them. So Surrey is often mentioned when a conversation like this comes up.
He's a beautiful man. What are you going to say?
So I'm curious to see how this will go. Phyllis in the nasty chat. Whoa.
Yeah.
Rip City Step put in Surrey already.
Yeah, Surrey's up by about 5 times in the nasty chat and the ESPN.
He's
inbox.
coming into the inbox as well. Anything?
Couple Gagers.
Gager as a Sunshine Boy.
Yeah. Clefbaum.
Can we get the Clefbaum pick when you have it too? Koob, thanks for rolling with us on the fly. Yeah, this will be fun. So, there was one name on there I wonder how many people remember. Marco Sincar.
Ooh, number 27.
Was an Esks receiver, and he was a Golden Bear, wasn't he? He kind of had a longer... I don't really remember what he looked like, but...
He had the hair. He had the rock star hair.
Rock star 1980s hair.
Yeah.
We got Clef now? Okay. I think we had him up, and then we had...
Somebody's got to find me. This is some homework for you listeners. Let's find the Joaquin Gage Sunshine Boy picture.
He must have it on his phone. Gager, do you have your Sunshine Boy picture that you can email to Koob? Okay.
We'll find it.
Yeah, that one's sold out.
Well, I had some when you originally, mentioned this topic, if I'm thinking Eskimos or Elks, Chris Hardy would be up there.
Right, yeah.
Good-looking fella. Brock Ralph, still a very good-looking man. He's coaching over at Ainley. But for Oilers, Jarrett Stoll, a little bit of an underdog.
Right. So you're saying Brock Ralph?
I would say
somebody
Brock
texted me Brock Ralph as well. Interesting. Okay.
I mean, if you're going old timey, Craig McTavish was a stud back in the day with that the locks flowing.
I think probably some people would still find Mac T sexy.
He's
There's
an
a sentence I
attractive man.
never thought I would say in my sports broadcasting career. I would be partial to this since we're comfortable talking about this. I would. Here's the thing with Mike Riley.
Oh, how could we forget our very own Luke Gazdic?
Oh, Gazdic, yeah.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. Inside and out, because we know him.
I'll tell you this about Riley. I always, just in terms of, look, in this job, you're impartial. Yes, of course you're impartial, but there are people that you can't help but think that's somebody who is, admirable or good at their job or good to deal with. Mike Riley was always a great interview whenever he was on Inside Sports. I thought he represented Edmonton and the Esks very well while he played here. He won on the field. He was the quarterback and MVP of their last Grey Cup in 2015. And I will say this about Mike Riley. There was one year he came in every Monday or Tuesday and did a half hour with Morley. And it was called Monday Night Quarterback or Tuesday Night Quarterback or sort of morning. I can't remember. And there were 2 or 3 ladies in the building. They didn't want to make a show of it, but they would always seem to wind up at my desk asking me if this was the day Riley was coming in. Because maybe they would work a little later to catch a glimpse of Mike or say hi to him or
really
have a little chat with him. So I think, to me, he was one of those guys. He won the men over with how he played and how he conducted himself, and he won the ladies over with how he conducted himself and how he looked. So that's why I always think of Riley when this comes up.
Well, and you were talking about this a little bit earlier too. Is there's difference to attractive and sexy and likability,
right?
All these things. To me, when we're talking about a sexy athlete, there's charisma in there as well as appearance. Tube Socks has voted himself twice as the sexiest man.
And Tony Tanti third.
Probably Tony Tanti.
Who never played in Edmonton.
One-Eyed Pete comes in with a good one. David Peltier.
Figure skater. Champion figure skater.
Yes.
Works for the Oilers as a skating coach. I see him around the rink all the time.
Koob, you're going to want to check the inbox there.
All right, so this is our off-topic topic inspired by John Krasinski. Gager was Mr. September in Scotland.
Did you find it?
Oh, wow. Okay. This is going to be incredible.
It's been September in Air Scotland for a lot of women for the past 20 years.
Yes.
Gager said it's been September in Scotland, in Air Scotland, for a lot of women for the past 24 years. All right. Matt Hyman says you're going to have to put a warning on this episode. I don't think... I know he's joking. We're not going to cross any lines, but John Krasinski has been named the sexiest man alive. Another thing, why does People magazine have to specify alive? Could they not just be like the world's sexiest man?
Then you could,
because it'd be Dracula every year if it was just sexiest man ever.
Would it?
I am Dracula.
Wouldn't it be Elvis, baby?
Oh, Elvis, probably for sure.
Rob from the Grove, Taylor Hall.
First vote for Taylor Hall. All right.
I've sent a couple to the Koob about Gager.
We are, of course, speaking of sexy athletes and people, Trent Brown with James H. Brown as our studio sponsor. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. We will have fun with this one throughout the course of the show. Who is the sexiest male Edmonton athlete of all time? David Beard is going to join us in studio. We'll dive into the oil understood for GCL Diesel when we get back. Here comes Zach Kubusch with a sports update.
There's 5 games in the NHL with the Red Wings taking on the Penguins, the Kings duking it out against the Avs, and the Caps battling the Maple Leafs, with the team activating Yanni Hakanpää off the long-term injury reserve. Hampus Lindholm of the Bruins will miss multiple weeks after sustaining a lower body injury in last night's win over the Blues. Tomorrow, Brian Robinson slots back in for the Commanders when they take on the Eagles, while newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out with a injured hamstring. And there's 9 games in the association, including the Celtics tipping off with the Nets. Reid and Jay dive into the Oil Understood in just a few minutes after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, bringing you the latest.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Victor Arvidsson, 50-50 for tomorrow's game against the Predators. That's according to Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch. You will hear more from him in a couple of minutes. Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Wednesdays are unbeatable at the CBH. Only 69 cents each and a mountain of flavors to savor. Do that wing thing every Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse. We're going to have to find out what their flavor of the month is for November.
Maybe it's Sheldon Surrey.
Maybe it's the sexiest athlete in Edmonton history. Sexiest male Edmonton athlete of all time is our off-topic topic. Do we have a couple of photos of Joaquin Gage? I have not seen these. If you're on YouTube, you're in for a treat. We'll do our best to describe them for those on the audio stream.
Wow.
That is Joaquin Gage from the mid-chest up without a shirt. Looking quite, is that a seductive look?
What a stud.
Yeah, is that a mischievous look? I think that's a mischievous.
What's he doing with his gloves?
I don't know if it's full-on seductive, but it's certainly mischievous.
Oh, is he hanging on to something?
Oh, I can't tell where his hands are.
Damn,
or his hands up above his head?
I think so.
Does he have gloves on?
He's
What does he
holding on
have?
to something.
That is a good picture of Gager.
Lovely.
We add him to the list.
Look at
my goodness.
Whoa, look at those eyes.
And now we have, that's a headshot from probably a hockey card or something, or some kind of pic. Okay, so was the previous one his Sunshine Boy pick?
Yes.
Okay. And then he also was Mr. September in Air Scotland in some sort of publication. And now we have the turtleneck and chain.
Oh.
Or what's it called? Chain and turtleneck?
What a stud muffin.
He's a very easy on the eyes man. Our beloved Gager.
He's easy on the heart.
Oh, this is incredible. David Nedohin gets a vote. Surrey in there again. David Neto in the curler, of course. Actually, Mark Kennedy, I'm surprised, our curling friend, I'm surprised he doesn't have a vote or two.
Good looking.
A few years ago, some of the curlers, this might have been close to a decade ago, some of the curlers did a calendar, in the style of we don't have a lot of clothes on.
Oh.
And Mark did one like in kind of tight boxer briefs.
Jeez.
And he was up on the river valley somewhere, so the Edmonton skyline, like on the top of the river valley, so the skyline was behind him. And I think it was a side plank, and he had his one hand on a curling rock, fully extended, and then his body was sort of 45 degrees up off the ground, and his other arm was fully extended. Curlers are in good shape. Get out there and show it off.
Rip City Step says the work site, I'm assuming he's lobbied a few of the work site friends, and they have a bearded Jujar Kara nomination.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's
one.
never thought of that. Yeah, ask people around your office or wherever you are. Text like again. Text your spouse or text, if you're a man listening to this, have an opinion, but I texted someone earlier today and he threw me a name and he's like, I got to find it now. I won't say who it is.
This one here. Gager mentioned this as well. Marius Cherkowski. Cherkowski.
Yep.
Apparently, he was just
and his, I don't know if they were married. Isabella, was it Scarupcho? She played a Bond girl in one of the Bond movies. I think one of the Timothy Dalton movies. But yeah, one of my buddies said, you might get better answers from my wife than for me. And I said, can you ask her, please? And he said, okay, I will. And then there was a consensus from the ladies at the wife's workplace saying Ethan Morrow and Evander Kane. So there we go. Spency 5 cents, he says, why not do an EST Sunshine Boy calendar? Have all the hosts and some guests on it, maybe. That's actually a great idea. We should make an EST calendar, even if it's not a racy one. I'm not sure if a shirtless Wilkie is anything anybody wants. Well, I could do something. I could do something where you could tell I'm not wearing a shirt, but it's concealed, like I'm holding a comic book at an angle,
Yeah, and it could be like backlit, so it's like an artistic, kind of.
We should do a calendar.
I'm in. I've had my shirt off on this very seat before.
Oh, that's alarming.
Yes, it is.
It wasn't on this show.
No.
Was I don't even think I was even working here.
Nope.
It's a good thing they didn't tell me that.
It was last year when the Oilers had somebody go tarps off in the arena. Eric and I thought it would be a great idea to go tarps off in the studio.
Well, there are a lot of different ideas floating around out there. All right. This is fun. Where's Iwanek? We're going to have to, because he's the idea guy. I think an EST calendar is I for real think that's a good idea. I'm not being stupid.
Call him in. Hey, Matty.
Iwanek, come here. I sound so nice to him, eh? He can just pick up that mic and talk. We have an idea. But the listeners, so the nasties have an idea. Spency 5 cents, he says, now it wouldn't have to be racy. Can we do an EST Sunshine Boy calendar or just an EST calendar? Because Jasmine would have to be in it. She's not a boy, though she is a ray of sunshine. But it wouldn't have to be, here's sexualized poses. I mean, maybe some of us if we wanted to, but that would be a great way to market the station and be fun.
I'm not opposed to it.
Then we're doing it.
I ain't doing the work for it. I'll oversee it. Somebody else will have to take this on as their project.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, maybe that'll be mine then. I think this is a great idea. Matt Hyman says, Reid with the glasses in his mouth like this. For the people watching on YouTube, I kind of give one of these.
Yeah.
Eh?
I'll just hold this.
Or I could have a pipe.
I'll just go like this.
Oh, my goodness.
This is
just taking on a life of its own. This is why we're here, though. Okay, we're also here to give you the Oilers' latest news. For the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve the Edmonton and Northern Alberta area for over 50 years, and now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Understood. Okay, so already told you that Arvidsson is 50-50 for tomorrow's game. I just want to dive into some other sound bites that I found interesting. This first one from after the game last night, Knobloch was asked how he felt about the second and third Islanders goals.
I thought the second goal was played poorly. Just they were able to get the puck in, and everyone's kind of just standing, watching, not doing a job. And the third one, we were in pretty good positions. Our stick gets in the wrong lane, and tap, it's in our nets. But we could have played the last one a little bit better. Just a little bit, not very much. The second one, that's definitely something that makes a coach's hair turn gray.
Yeah, watching it last night, it looked a little like incomplete defending. And watching the replay this morning, like I said, the puck went over to the Islanders' left point. There's no Oiler there. Jeff Skinner looks like he kind of scrambles over there. That would usually be Perry's side of the ice. So like we've talked about, maybe some miscommunication. Skinner doesn't check the player who walks in and the rebound goes in. And, why wasn't the player who scored on the rebound checked? I think there was some campfire defense there by the Oilers. Stand around and watch. The 6-on-5 goal, there's the play itself, right? And then there's also you take an icing, you let the other team pull the goalie, you lose the face-off, so they set up what they want, and, a player who's pretty reliable, but again, nobody's perfect, and he plays a ton. I probably a little bit of a misread by Ekholm, because he kind of is almost backed into Skinner, he was kind of lying down, and I know a lot of fans will have to say, why do they lie down like that? There is a time and place for it. There is a time and place for a defender to be prone on the ice if you can seal off a pass, right? I think if Ekholm lies sort of diagonally out from Skinner, then he blocks that pass, but kind of where he went, he wasn't taking anything away from the Island. I guess he maybe could have blocked the shot, but to me, he almost got in Skinner's way a little bit, and then that tying goal went in. But again, it's that second one. Like, don't give the other team a window. Take the life out of when you're up 3-1. Shut it down. Don't give them anything. What have we talked about? Details, concentration, things like that. So that was the goal. I mean, you'd like not to give up a 6-on-5 goal. It's going to happen sometimes. To me, it was that second one, because I'm thinking, Jay, if you're the New York Islanders, so let's face it, the Oilers outplayed them. I mean, the grade A chances were heavily in favor of the Oilers.
They almost doubled up the shots.
Yes, Sorokin holds the team in the game. That's his job. He's an elite goaltender. And, so you give up a goal early in the third. I'm thinking if you're the Islanders' perspective. Okay, well, we're down 1. We still got 19 minutes to tie it. You get let's face it, McDavid tripped the guy. And they are, in general, I feel as if not a lot of penalties are being called this year. To me, that's a trip by McDavid. I was watching it again, and I'm trying to think, okay, maybe the ref thought the guy kind of backed into McDavid a little bit, but McDavid's stick is still there. So then you get scored on. That's a deflating play because you're hoping you're going on the power play. Instead, Nuge sets up McDavid. The Oilers got all the momentum, but then the Islanders get that goal with 7 minutes left, and they're thinking, man, oh man, we have been outplayed. We didn't get a break we thought we deserved. We're one shot away from getting a point and getting it into overtime. And that's exactly what happened. But the Oilers got to break their spirit in the last 10 minutes, not give them any glimmer of hope. So a little disappointing they couldn't do that.
Which is, it's not what you or I are used to seeing. Usually it's the other way where they're down and they can come back at will. They say, okay, enough screwing around. We're going to come back. But it just seems like they clench up. They tighten up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything just bounces the wrong way. I do think, though, on that third goal, I talked to you about it earlier. I'd like to see Stu the goalie. I'd like to see him cover the bottom part of that net a little bit better on that goal where Ekholm's on the ground. The above view of that is pretty damning, I got to say. And if you're talking about goals that you'd like to have back or goals where you need a save or moments where you need a save, that's one. But like I said before, there are things to build on. But, as a coach, you've got to point out that. You've got to point out that that's unacceptable to just let the lead drift away like that.
Yeah. There are things to build on. The power play looks a little more potent, and the PK had a perfect game, as we were talking about earlier. And I asked Chris Knobloch a bit about the PK last night.
I think the guys on the penalty kill have been doing a heck of a job. I really have, and it's been unfortunate that there have been goals that have been going in, and sometimes that's just the game. But the details have been pretty good. They've been breaking up a lot of plays. Tonight was probably their best, and not letting New York get set up. A lot of zone denials and striking the puck and not having them set up. So, I think we got lots to build on. So I've been very happy with it over the last couple of days. I know the results haven't been there, but they've looked good.
All right, yeah. So, and I mean, look, I know you can question the quality of the players on the Islanders' power play, all that kind of stuff, but they killed off 2 for 2, which was very big. Jeff Skinner played less than 10 minutes. He was on the ice for that second goal that the Islanders got to give them life in the third period. Didn't play a bunch against the Vancouver Canucks either. And today, after practice, Knobloch was asked about Jeff Skinner.
Yeah, we're just trying to find roles for everyone and seeing how everyone fits in with the team. And obviously, we're having trouble scoring goals previously, and we feel that, he should be able to help contribute to that. Playing with Connor, and our team wasn't doing well. That line of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman, McDavid are going to produce, and they're comfortable playing with each other. So it ultimately comes down to finding what works for our team and which lines are going. And when somebody's not going, you insert somebody else. And right now, he's just he's the odd guy out.
Well, here's the thing about Skinner. I thought he's had a decent season. He certainly scored more than some of his teammates. That goal in Calgary was great, but I mean, you can't base a whole season off one play. I have noticed that he seems to like to make an extra move before trying to take a shot when he gets the puck off the rush or gets a set up in the high slot.
Dusts it off?
Right, or doesn't want to shoot through a leg or wants something clean. I think he has gotten to the net maybe more than I thought he would, though it isn't always there. It's interesting for me that it's interesting for me that Knobloch called him the odd man out, because they're playing Podkolzin in the top 6, who, except for a couple of games, in my mind, has not looked like a top 6 player. So why isn't Skinner, the proven top 6 player based on his career, getting that spot over Podkolzin, who feels to me like they really want Podkolzin to succeed.
Yeah. It's a head scratcher.
Which is not a bad thing to want your players to succeed, but then it's weird that Skinner doesn't just go down to the third line. He goes down to being your 12th forward.
But it seems like Podkolzin's success is at the expense of other players. And that we talked about it on the oil stream today. It just doesn't add up. Why the favor to Podkolzin, who, by all accounts, great locker room guy, great teammate, but has he done enough on the ice to prove or to
couple games?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So was Skinner. Skinner was one of the Oilers' best players in several games early in the year.
Yeah. Now, look, I should say this. I mean, there's a lot to watch in an NHL game.
Sure.
There are other things. How are you getting pucks out along the wall in your own end? How are you covering your point man? So you can look at the play yesterday on the second goal and say, Skinner can't allow that. Or him and Perry, even if Perry's supposed to be there, you got to communicate and organize before the defenseman's already walking into the high slot, and then you make not a very good attempt at checking him. So, there could be some things. With forwards, you want them to score, but other areas of the ice are looked at. Like I said, board battles. How do you get the puck out just inside your own blue line? But, Easy-E says, probably a brain-dead move might be a little harsh, Easy-E, but I understand you don't like it. Right now, he's the odd man out. And then Easy-E says, so the solution is to bury him on the fourth line instead of building chemistry with the people he should be playing with. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from, too.
So you're suggesting this is more of a defensive liability?
Well, I'm just guessing, or like just a sturdiness of play.
I wouldn't say you're wrong. I think that's
sturdiness of play. Board battles, forechecking, disrupting plays, safe plays with the puck, things like that.
But if you're Knobloch and you're seeing the top guys start turning it around and start getting that engine churning, then you're going to expect defensive structure from the other forwards more than goal scoring, right? I mean, that to me seems like common sense. So maybe this is, maybe Podkolzin is a little bit more trustworthy in the defensive role as a forward.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe he's more disruptive on the forecheck, even if he doesn't always make a great puck play. I mean, I'm not saying I'm defending or agreeing Knobloch, but we're trying to think, okay, the coach isn't making this move to irritate Eazy-E and other fans. He still has his reasons.
Well,
you may not agree with them,
Yeah.
but we're trying to think, okay, what is he thinking based on what he said? All right, give us a... That's sickening. Somebody has put my face on Costanza's body. That is disgusting. That's going to give people diarrhea and vomiting. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube if you are streaming the show there. If you're listening through one of the audio applications, we appreciate that as well. We will get to buying or selling for Damon Bunting. David Beard in studio. Ken LaCusta has a vote for the sexiest male Edmonton athlete of all time. Here's Zachary Kubusch with a sports update.
We got the Golden Knights meeting the Ducks, the Hurricanes in Utah to play the hockey club, and the Maple Leafs on the ice against the Capitals, with Toronto activating Yanni Hakanpää off the LTIR. The Oilers get back at it tomorrow, and Hampus Lindholm of the Bruins will miss multiple weeks after sustaining a lower body injury in last night's win over the Blues. Lindholm left the game after blocking a shot late in the first period. In Edmonton, the Oil Kings welcome in Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers with 4 matchups around the WHL. And for Thursday night football tomorrow, newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out for the Commanders, while Brian Robinson returns in the matchup with the Eagles. Basketball sees the Grizzlies hit the court with the Lakers with 9 total games in the NBA. This sports update has been brought to you by Wheelers RV and Boat Storage. Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheelers RV is your safe and secure place to store your RV, boat, or whatever it is you want to store. Visit them at wheelersrvstorage.com to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 free. Go to wheelersrvstorage.com today and get your storage needs taken care of. We got a quick break with the boys coming back with buying or selling for Damon Bunting. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you informed.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website, edmontonsportstalk.com.
All right, Brian in the Nasty Chat says, I think Knobloch is just trying to get different dimensions out of each of his players. It's hard to change an old dog, but maybe it's possible with Jeff Skinner. Participate in the Nasty Chat. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube as well. And, of course, the EST inbox is 780-218-9999. Our off-topic topic for William Huff, who is the sexiest male Edmonton athlete of all time. Are we going to name Saray the unofficial leader as of now? From the Nasties?
Yes.
Strudwick, I think, is doing better than I thought. Clefbaum, a few.
Clefbaum is, and Dreisaitl's having a little bit of a late
Got
push
a surge,
here.
yeah.
Mike, the Michigan sad. He asked his wife. He said, my wife's pick for Edmonton's sexiest male athlete is Leon Draisaitl.
Right. Yeah, I love that people are going to their wives or girlfriends if they're not listening, for sure.
And Abutsky says, I know we'll get to in my early years as a junior high teacher, a lot of the girls absolutely adored Andy Moog.
Oh, really? Wow.
Well, there you go.
Okay. All right, so if you're on YouTube, here it is. Who made this, Jay? This is a picture of my face photoshopped onto Costanza's body. I don't even remember the circumstances of this in the Seinfeld episode.
Michelle R., whose vote, by the way, goes to Jarrett Stoll, sent this in and said she wanted to see Reid in this pose for the calendar. And then Waddy in Cloverdale, without even knowing that she had sent this into the inbox, said that this picture, and he photoshopped your face, is EST calendar worthy.
All right, so a couple things for buying or selling. I can't even look at that. I feel like it's a deformed.
Why?
I feel like it's a picture of a deformed albino lizard.
If it was, yeah,
it's like a villain that got hit by radioactive waste, and now the Hulk is going to beat it to pummel it.
This is great.
Okay.
Keep them coming in, folks. This is fantastic.
Dash at Heavy Hockey says that after spelling Glue Guy's new cologne today.
Smelling.
What did I say?
Spelling.
Oh, God, I'm an idiot. Well, I'm so rattled by seeing my face on Jason Alexander's body. After smelling Glue Guy's new cologne today, I know who my vote is for Edmonton's sexiest sports reporter. That'd be you. So first of all, an EST calendar. Are you buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors? He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram, Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Buying. I'm in.
Oh, but we got to make a calendar.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a titillating one.
No,
just a
but
fun
it can be like we could try
raise money for something, or
What if we recreated iconic sports photos
or something like that?
Right?
Yeah,
that could be fun.
The Bobby Orr thing, or
Michael Jordan dunk,
or we just go around the city, and
catch,
lean on things and look
lean
cool.
on things,
like
just make it super cheeseball.
Lean on the Walter Dale Bridge, lean on West Edmonton Mall, lean on the Gretzky statue.
We could do. There's a lot of ways this could go.
All right, so yeah, I think we're trying to make a calendar. I don't know. Do we have time to do it for 2025? We'll try. We'll look into it. All right, so earlier today, it came up again on the Hangout. I don't even know how it came up, but Belsey's on, and I think people now just do it to Belsey to see if they can get him mad. But talking about the Rouge and the CFL, which we have talked about a couple of times this season, I've proposed a rule change. So I'm going to go even further here. Because there's a lot of, the Rouge is rewarding a miss, or they didn't like the Elks punting through the end zone. But we're going to keep this to field goals. But there's a lot of talk about, the Rouge rewards missing. And I say, why don't we reward accuracy? So I have a very rough sketch here. So again, if you're on YouTube, you'll see it. If you're not on YouTube, I'll describe it. So those are the goalposts. The goalposts are currently 18.5 feet wide. This would be about a 20-foot wide goalpost, okay? So instead of 2 prongs coming up from the crossbar, there would be 4. Uprights, which would create 3 sections. The middle section would be 10 feet wide. If you kick it through there, it's 3 points. If you kick it through one of the outer sections, it's 2 points. So when a player is lining up for a field goal, you don't know how much he's going to score on the kick. Because, right down the middle, should that not be worth more than he barely snuck it inside the upright? Wouldn't this be a thing? Well, they're down by 2. If he can put it right down the middle, they win. If he puts it through one of the side slots, it's tied. And then if he misses in the CFL, then it's ball in play. Do you give up a single or whatever? If you hit one of the 2 middle uprights, it's 2 points. If it hits and bounces back out. If it hits the middle upright and goes in through the 3-point section, it would still be a 3-point kick. Okay? So that's what my suggestion. Why is every field goal only worth 3? Should it not be worth more if you hit it through the upright? In golf, you'd sooner hit a 300-yard drive in the middle of the fairway than into the right rough. They're both in play. They both hit it a long way, but one is still better than the other. So I'm saying let's add a little more drama and a little more priority on putting it right down the middle and have the middle section worth 3. So now you have 3 sections to the uprights instead of just one big one. The middle one is worth 3. The 2 outside ones are worth 2. Buying or selling, J. Milne?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a radical change.
How wide is the middle?
10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah. And the 2 outside areas would be 5 feet each. And right now the whole thing is 18.5 feet. So now the whole thing would be 20 feet, but it's 10 points to get it right, or it's 10 feet to get it right down the middle and get 3.
You know what? I must say, when you first brought this to my attention, my mind immediately went to arena football. Because in arena football, the uprights are 9 feet wide.
Right.
Outside of them are giant nets.
Right.
That bounce the ball back into play. So, I don't know logistically if this works. I'm talking about like the actual structure. You might have to put 2 posts underneath to support adequately.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how somebody can design it.
Yeah. Scoring-wise, I like it. I'm not going to lie. Because it rewards accuracy. But it would completely change the game. It would completely change the game.
Big time.
And I don't know. Okay, so what's the dead ball rules then? Where do dead balls come into play? Just the outside posts and the upright? Like the center post and the 2 outsides? Then it's dead ball? If they bounce back into play.
Yes. And then if you hit one of the 2 center posts, it would be 2 points. It would be a successful 2-point field goal.
Even if it bounced into play. Like,
yes.
Even if it bounced straight back towards the offense.
Because you're not wide. You're
right.
not wide. There's just a post there to help. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just testing your theory here to see if you've...
I don't know. To me, it's just something to think about. I realize this might have to be modified. It would involve a change. Maybe you could even have a 1-point section further outside, because then you get a point for making a kick, but not as accurately as you should have, as opposed to a point for missing. Maybe there could be another 5-foot section on either side. That's a 1-point section, and then if you're further wide outside of that, you've just missed. Now maybe,
or you just like VR's got a decent point here. VR Montenegro says, "How about a center zone that's worth 3 and the side zones are worth 1?"
Or that, yeah.
But then it's the same value as kicking it through the end zone, right?
Right. Well, you'd have to tweak some other rules. I'm just saying, why is every kick worth 3 points when some made kicks are clearly more accurate than others?
I just got to ask, did you have a ruler to draw this?
I did use a ruler.
Okay, because I'm saying, damn, that's a pretty steady hand.
Matawanek lent me a ruler. I haven't used a ruler in years.
So I wonder so you said it's 10 feet. How wide are the uprights right now?
18.6. 18.5 in the CFL.
Now with this, they'd be...
I have 20, and you have a 10-foot section and 2 5s on either side.
So it wouldn't be all that much wider than it currently would be.
Right. I'm just saying right down the middle is worth more.
I'm down with that. Reward that. I may tweaking the scoring structure of it all might obviously have to be discussed.
Yes.
But I'm okay with that.
I like talking about this. I'm not. I realize there are many ways that this can be shot back down or refuted, But why don't we think about stuff like this as opposed to, well, field goal's 3, can never change it. Why can't we change it? What if we made to get rid of a rouge, what if we made the whole uprights wider but had different sections of the uprights worth different amounts of points and reward kicks that are further down the middle?
Well, then the reason I was saying that the 3 versus 1 is if you took away the rouge point. There he is.
Oh, David Beard is here. Well, perfect. We'll ask him about this too. Keep your texts and messages coming in as well. Who is Edmonton's sexiest male athlete of all time?
Might have 2 of them in a room right now.
Might have 2 of them in the room right now. Gager and David Beard.
Wow.
We got a quick update, then we got the Cube with the sports update. We got a quick.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
There's 5 games in the NHL with the Red Wings taking on the Penguins, the Kings duking it out against the Avs, and the Caps battling the Maple Leafs. Hampus Lindholm of the Bruins will miss multiple weeks after sustaining a lower body injury in last night's win over the St. Louis Blues. And in the NFL, Brian Robinson slots back in for the Commanders tomorrow when they take on the Eagles, while newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out with an injured hamstring. Elsewhere, the Colts call on Anthony Richardson this week to start, while the Raiders stick with Gardner Minshew. Basketball has 9 games, including the Celtics tipping off with the Nets, the Knicks hitting the court with the Bulls, and the Pistons against the Milwaukee Bucks. And in just a moment, Dave Beard joins Reid and Jay here in studio. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
A very special guest here in studio on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. He is a grad of the U of A Golden Bears program. He's a former member of the EEs, and he's a, what are they calling it now? CFL All-Star? All-CFL? One or the other.
Yeah,
You're one of the
All-CFL.
best in the league, all CFL, a nominee for another very special award that we want to talk about as well. David Beard is here. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing really good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Thanks a lot for coming in. I've always loved having you on my shows over the years. I think ever since you were a Golden Bear.
True.
Probably was
Yeah.
our first interviews, and then you played for the Eskimos,
Absolutely.
and then you wound up getting traded to Hamilton. First of all, tell us about the week and a half or so, I guess a little over 2 weeks now, like since the season ended. Unfortunately, you guys didn't make the postseason. What happens? You live on the other side of the country. How do you sort of work that all out?
Yeah, well, I think the most interesting part is right towards the end of the season, my wife and I welcomed our fourth into the world. So that got a little touch and go there with timing. So yeah, mom and baby are healthy. So then we ended up sending mom and baby back and kind of convoyed back, bringing the vehicles and the trailer and all the rest of it. So it was a bit of a convoy. Had a little trucker songs going, so it was good.
So you drove back, eh?
Yeah.
How many days did that take?
It was 3 days. And
3 days, yeah.
A short day on the first one. We ended up putting in a good 17-hour shift on the second one.
So
that
what
was
were the
good.
cities you stopped in?
We stopped in a place called Osseo. I don't even know, somewhere northwest of Chicago. Osseo.
Oh, wow. Never heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, we were in, Essex was our first stop, and then we got over to Osseo, and then over to Saskatoon, and then the final haul back to Edmonton, so it was good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, no, it worked good. It was uneventful, so that was the best part.
Which is good. So 4 kids now, eh? What's the age range?
6, 4, 2, and 0. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So all
my guy.
Yeah, we're in great shape right now.
Jay's got 3. I have none.
Yeah, I got 3 girls.
Yes.
So
yes,
we're at
yeah.
12, 10, and 8. And
The
I
ranch.
I can't imagine
Oh, yeah.
what is going on in your world, brother. Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sleeping?
Yeah. No, they're doing great. They're having a blast. They're loving the kids. So
So you
it's,
must be blessed with a wonderful wife.
Yes. Yeah, an absolute saint.
Yeah, I can imagine. She has to put up with you and 4 children.
Basically, yeah.
So, okay. Born and raised, local guy. You started out, and I had to go back into the past here and talk to some people and some names you might recognize. Maybe that would be Barclay Spady from Sherwood Park,
Spades.
the old head coach there at Bev Facey, and because I knew that because you didn't find football till much later than most players would. So talk about how you got into football and then what it was like in high school, because you were not doing what you're doing now in high school.
No, yeah. Basketball was my first love. I was trying to be my dad's little duplicate. So dad played college ball in Camrose, and I wanted to play basketball. Ended up moving from a little town called Olds, little Alberta there, and came up here. Missed my hockey tryouts, so that was terribly disappointing. And my dad said, "Hey, you should go try out for football." I got a coworker his son's going to try out. I was like, "Oh, fine." Anyways, I ended up keeping the bench incredibly warm that first year. Wow, I was good at that. So,
and that would have been with the Rams,
That's
right?
with the Rams. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of how that all started. Got plugged in with Falcons there and chipped away, learned what the game was about, had some fun, kind of bounced around different positions on the line, ended up playing slot back tight end in grade 12. Then went to defensive end again, going into the Bears, and the rest of it was kind of from there. So.
Well, speaking of the Bears, obviously you've heard that your former coach and somebody who I don't know. I want to talk about the relationship you had with Chris at that time, because I was involved with the team at that point, and you were a big recruit coming in, just the sheer size of you. But having a guy like Chris who, he was on the Ring of Honor as an O lineman for the Edmonton Eskimos. So how did that happen, the transition from D-line or tight end or whatever you thought you were going to be to what, ultimately Chris may have said, "Hey, Bud, I think you're better off on this side."
Yeah, well, the real story was I'd spent the first 2 years under different coaching staff and didn't know any better. Kind of just was soaking in university life and figuring out how to look after myself and go to school and all the rest of it. Like, there's so much learning to do. But the transition came in my going into my third year, and I remember Coach Morris came up to me and we just kind of met. He'd showed up and was like, "Hey, listen, this is the situation. Our starting right tackle just quit, and there's nobody else that's really ready to try and go." And this is believe this was 3 days before the first game, and that was the first game at Investors Group Field, and we were playing the Bisons, and I distinctly remember lining up at left tackle because we ended up making some switches, and I remember just backpedaling the first play, trying to remember what the play was even called, and it was a steep learning curve to say the least. So yeah, I know. Credits to Morris, he definitely gave me the opportunity to switch to the line and fell in love with it. No, I swore that I was going to get a chance to take a look at D-line again, and I never saw the defense again after that. So.
Look, he's now running another organization, so we know you can't necessarily comment on that. But I do think it's fair to ask, what was it about Chris Morris's leadership style that you think helped that Golden Bears program? Because we know it was not great, and he got them into the playoffs this year. Unfortunately, didn't do great, but he did a lot there over 12 or 13 years. What was it about Chris's leadership style that you think sort of clicked or helped that program?
You know what? When I think of Chris Morris, I just think of a guy that'll shoot you straight. He coaches kind of old school football in terms of just hard-nosed football that's not full of fluff. He's just ready to get after it, and he makes you want to run through a brick wall for him. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm far from the only guy that would say the same thing. So he's a fantastic coach and fantastic human being, and wealth of knowledge in terms of football as well. So it's like I just hold him in such high regard, and he's a great man, and he did a lot of great things for the program there in Edmonton. So
yeah. Well, and how many guys did he put into the CFL that you played with or came shortly after you?
I don't have the number, but it was a bit of a train after that. So
because you and Lawrence were teammates, right?
Yeah, and Corte, yeah.
And Corte and Carter O'Donnell was after you guys, right?
Yeah.
Do I think still an NFL free agent? Or is he on a practice roster? But he was after you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And then and you blocked Frill Nicky.
Yeah,
who
that's
had won the Heck Crichton, right?
That's right.
As a running back. So
totally, yeah.
There are a lot of great individual stories out of that for sure.
100%.
David Beard joining us here in studio with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We're going to touch on a lot of different things here. Thanks for being so generous with your time. This is great to see you.
Absolutely.
Rather than doing it over the phone. The season with the Tiger Cats. Well, you were 2-9 at one point.
Yes, we were.
And we had a team here in Edmonton that was 0-7 at one point. So there are some parallels. You beat each other badly in each other's stadiums.
It's true.
Oddly enough. But I mean, look, you guys started 0-5. When you get out on the back heel like that, regardless of whether or not you feel you're playing well or doing right things, I mean, if you leave the stadium with a loss, you don't feel great.
Mm-hmm.
When you're already in that kind of a hole a month into the season, how do you sort of keep it together and keep the spirits high?
Yeah, you know what? I think it just comes down to understanding the circumstances, the messaging, and I'm sure a lot of guys across the league would hear this who've been in that kind of situation. The messaging is don't panic. There's this example in the past of this BC team that was down, and there's always this example that kind of comes through the messaging, and you do buy into that, and you kind of understand that it's more than a sprint. It's definitely a marathon in terms of CFL season, but that urgency builds every single week, and so by the end of that losing spell, you're like, holy smokes, the collar's getting tight. You really want to find some wins and solve some problems. So,
what do you think? I'll use the word problem because you just use it. But what was the team's problem, if there was one? Like, was there an Achilles heel, key points in games that made it hard for you guys early on there?
Yeah, I mean, you can go into the details, but I think big picture stuff would be penalties was a big problem early on. Particularly, there's some guys that I know that were hoping to have place back on specials and all that kind of stuff and some controllable stuff. And turnovers, missed assignments. We needed to keep the pressure off the quarterback earlier on too. That was something that we were, as an individual group, we were working on. So the name of the game was typically turnovers and penalties. So that was our Achilles heel.
Yeah, you hear a lot of that in football, don't you?
Turns out
don't
pretty high indicator of success.
Don't take penalties. So, I mean, the odd team like the Lions on Sunday night can survive 5 picks, but that's pretty rare. That's why it was
doesn't happen often.
What do you remember about that game here? And I'll ask you from a bit of an Edmonton perspective, because you guys beat Edmonton 44-28 on July 28th.
Mm-hmm.
You were way ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Ford came in and got some points, and were you aware of that there was like the chance for Trey as a visiting player? Would you even hear any of that? And then obviously the excitement when he came, you probably didn't like it because they got some points on your defense.
Right.
Were you aware of any of that and being an Edmontonian, of that storyline with him and stuff like that?
No, I'm not sure exactly what the storyline was, but in terms of preparing for both quarterbacks, is that what you're getting at?
No. I mean, in game, were you when he came in? Were you aware?
Oh yeah.
Did you hear the grumbling in the crowd and then the cheers when he came in?
Definitely, absolutely heard that.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure what you're getting at, but yes,
that's okay.
Yes, definitely. No, that was very apparent, and things got quite a bit louder after Trey got in there and started threading the needle on a few passes. So that was good to see from a big picture perspective for sure.
For the league, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I was happy for Trey too. Obviously, knowing him personally, playing with him for a little bit, so happy for him in that way. But kind of in the moment, you put her to rest.
Yeah, I'm just running because you were honest because some players will say, "Oh, I never hear the crowd. Oh, I block it out all the time," and I'm like,
Right.
"Well,
we try,
you try, but you're still going to hear stuff." The flip side of this is then the Elks went in to your stadium and beat you guys pretty bad.
Yeah,
but
on a
there was
clinic.
an awful play early in that game. One of your receivers got hurt quite badly.
Yep.
The game's delayed, ambulance, stretcher, all that kind of stuff. I know you're a pro athlete. I know you've seen friends and teammates get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I still have to ask, how difficult is it in that moment, and what's it like resuming the game after that?
Yeah, it's tough, and being totally frank, you got a lot of adrenaline and emotions going in the game, and so you're just trying to process it all. But terribly disappointed to see that happen, and you're concerned for the guy as an individual more than anything in the moment, and you're just hoping that he's going to be okay, and seeing the body position and the watching it visibly happen right in front of me as the play kind of developed, and that was kind of a jaw dropper. But yeah, and then it just kind of doubled down when then we had our quarterback Taylor Powell come in, and he took a pretty big headshot there right after, and it's kind of doubled down on a couple of bad instances, and we're thinking, holy smokes, is this how the rest of the game's going to go? But it's not ideal. It's not ideal, and we're definitely thinking of the guy in the moment. Luther's a great teammate, and
he's an Edmonton kid too, right?
That's right. Yeah, he is.
So
yeah,
it was tough.
Yeah, it was really tough. Yeah, really tough.
Former Wildcat, I might add.
Right.
There you go. Yeah, hot take.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about emotion and vulnerability in the moment, I mean, I got to ask you, when you were traded from the Double E to Hamilton, were you as shocked as I would say most people? And how did you? I mean, is that the moment where it's like, oh wow, this is really business?
Yeah, I definitely did not have that thought. My thought was, how it went down is I missed a call on a Friday night preparing for Labor Day and returned the call, and it was G-Roy, and he said, hey, listen, this is what just happened. You're off to Hamilton. And I was kind of silent for a while. I was like, oh, okay, this is happening. I said, I'll give you a call back. I had to call my wife, and I said, you might want to sit down for this one. And told her the news, and it was a matter of whatever, 16, 18 hours later, I was on a plane off to Hamilton and preparing to play Toronto for the first time. And it was a wild experience. And the first 24 hours was so tumultuous. I was like, what is going on? I got my 3 little kids back at Edmonton, wife's now solo parenting and going to be leaning on her parents a lot for help, a lot more even. And it was a whirlwind, an absolute whirlwind. So having that settle out was good. And yeah.
And you played, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Traded on Saturday, played on the Monday game?
Yeah, I dressed as a 6-man, and a good friend of mine now, he's playing right guard, Coulter Woodmansey. Mm-hmm. He's playing center for the game, and had some troubles with his finger and kept dislocating his finger. And so there I was I think it was the end of the third quarter playing center. I'm thinking, oh boy, what kind of complicated playbook are we going to call now? Because at the time it was Tommy Condell calling our offense, and I was like, here we go. We've got inside zone left, inside zone right, pass protection, running back left, pass protection, running back right. It was pretty vanilla. So
yeah, that's a good question and something you can maybe explain, because I don't think people get how vast an offensive playbook is.
Oh, totally.
And vast for running plays alone, vast for pass plays. There's different. when you went there and you knew did they, I guess, purposely simplify the blocking packages in that first game because you're so fresh?
Yeah, they didn't simplify it for me because I wasn't supposed to be playing, right? So the game plan was in. We're now in the end of the third.
But once you went in,
I'm pretty sure Tommy called some of the more vanilla plays. We didn't get into their extra stuff, and I could tell that based on the calls. Fortunately, Michael Gibson, my offensive line coach from Hamilton, he was with me in Edmonton, so a lot of the language had been a little bit similar, which helped a lot. But it was great being able to lean on the guys. We'd still joke about this today. Some of the guys think about Revenberg and Woodmansey and how I'd be making calls in the middle of that game or the end of that game, and totally wrong call, but they all knew what we were supposed to do. So they kind of get me right. So
you know what? I want to when we get back, we got to take a quick time out here, and I want to say this as well to the Nasties 780-218-9999 in the Nasty chat on YouTube, because David's going to stay till 5. If you have a question for David Beard, ask it. I mean, we got a CFL All-Star offensive lineman, Golden Bear grad in studio. Here's your opportunity. I mean, I know sometimes people are like, Reid, you ask dumb questions. Well, throw David one. I mean, if you want to know something about football or his journey, I know we've touched on some of it, but ask him a question. I want to ask you a little bit about the play calling, because I find that fascinating, and I'm going to go back to something that happened last season as well. And who knows what else we'll talk about. But David Beard is here. We got a quick timeout. We got the Kube with a sports update.
It's a 5-game slate in the NHL with the Golden Knights meeting the Ducks, the Hurricanes in Utah to play the hockey club, while the Maple Leafs get set to hit the ice with the Washington Capitals. And in Boston, Hampus Lindholm of the Bruins will miss multiple games after sustaining a lower body injury in last night's win over the St. Louis Blues. Lindholm left the game after blocking a shot late in the first period. And staying in hockey, the Oil Kings welcome in Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers with 4 matchups around the WHL. For Thursday Night Football, newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out for the Commanders, while Brian Robinson steps in to face the Eagles. Elsewhere, Gardner Minshew will start this week for the Raiders, while the Colts name Anthony Richardson as the starter. Basketball sees the Grizzlies hit the court with the Lakers, having 9 total games on the slate in the association. This sports update has been brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years. Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 107 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. And just after the break, more conversation with David Beard here in the EST studio. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Lottery license number 698984.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Oilers will go after their third straight win tomorrow night when they host the Nashville Predators at 7 o'clock. Our coverage here on Edmonton Sports Talk will start at 6 tomorrow with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan. Victor Arvidsson did not practice today. Head coach Chris Knobloch says he is 50-50 for tomorrow's game. Portions of this hour presented by Alberta Tutoring, locally owned and operated. Alberta Tutoring offers certified Alberta teachers who know the curriculum and what their students need to learn. Specializing in high school math, physics, and science, their skilled tutors can meet with students virtually while offering flexible scheduling. And right now, take advantage of their limited time offer. Enter promo code EST, get 40% off your first session. Visit albertatutoring.ca and book your local experienced tutor. Jay Milne, Reid Wilkins with David Beard, Hamilton Tiger Cats offensive lineman. He's a CFL All-Star this year, I guess All-CFL. You're also a Jake Goddard Veterans Award nominee, which we'll talk about as we go along as well, because that's pretty cool. I love watching football. I also find it fascinating because I fully admit, and you and I have talked over the years, and you used to listen to Inside Sports, so you probably know this. I don't always understand it, but I'm curious about it. Well, because to me, it's a game with so many nuances and on-the-fly adjustments. And that's what I think is so cool about it. And so here is the play call. Now, I know this is another team, but I want to read it to you. This is the play call for Montreal last year on their Grey Cup winning touchdown pass.
Okay.
Gold right, Y tough, 775, X deep, Frisco, Y W Poco, Y nut squat, Z snap.
Nice. I heard one thing in there that's important.
Okay, so there's just a part of that for each position. So the quarterback has to know it all.
Yes.
Every other position group just needs to know theirs.
Yeah, I mean those are similar calls to what Moss had when he was in Edmonton.
Okay.
But that 775 tells the offensive line. You ask Justin Lawrence, he would say the same thing. That tells you basically everything you need to know.
It's just the
that's a deep shot. Deep shot, two-man protection in the backfield to the left.
Okay, so you're not worried about gold right, white tough.
Yeah, gold right is probably like a spread formation. Y tough is going to tell the Y where it needs to be. 775 is going to give you protection, which is going to be mostly what the offensive line needs to deal with. So
can you tell us what 775 means?
Yeah, it's literally that. Two protectors in the backfield. So that's 7 protectors total.
Oh, okay, that's
2 in the backfield on the left, and it's a 775. That's gonna be a shot. Like that's gonna be a deep throw.
So you know that you gotta
buckle up, boys.
X deep, Frisco, W Poco, Y nut squat, Z snap. That would be all deep routes by all those guys.
By all the receivers. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like whatever they are, they're gonna be developmental.
So anything with a letter in front pertains to a receiver telling him what pattern to run.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty much status quo across the league.
Right. Okay. And then so the offensive line is just those. I didn't know that it was just those 3 numbers because I asked Justin about this play and he just kind of giggled and
of course he would. I'll sell you out, buddy. Love you.
He made me tune again. So and that's the thing that I think a lot of fans. And again, like me, who didn't play football at any level except in your backyard, saying, "Okay, Billy, you go deep, and John, you go to the right." You know?
Oh yeah, totally.
Maybe some quarterbacks still do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't hear it, but
it's so long to get all that information out.
Totally.
So, okay, so what? I know you don't have the headset on, but the quarterbacks get a play, and then you see them doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So does the offensive coordinator tell them all that, or does he give them a shorter code to find that play?
Typically not, unless you're on like hurry up offense and you're kind of spitballing or whatever. But typically they have that whole entire play call written out. And as far as I understand, I don't have the speaker in my helmet, but they got numbers. So say, hey, play 38.
Right.
And then quarterback will rifle that off. Either that's in the huddle. Some guys will do it in the huddle. Like I think Montreal's doing that in the huddle. And then for us, we were running no huddle. So then it would be quarterback be communicated on the fly.
But are you okay? But are you ever, if football players in general understand that language, are you not worried about the defense knowing something, or are you that confident you're going to?
There's a reason some guys play offense. There's a reason some guys play defense. Contentious, but yes, it's true.
All right, so you're fine with Jay Milne, the safety, hearing it's a W Poco. Because they're like, he won't react in time.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Even if you do know, you still have to beat
exactly
us,
right?
The old line.
Yeah.
And hell, we'll tell you what we're running. Beat it.
Yeah. And like this is my world, but like you hear 775, that's going to give you protection. That protection will look completely different based on what the defense front is showing you. So 775 protection is going to look completely different when you have a 4 down, 2 linebacker set, a 5 down, 2 linebacker set, a 3 down, 4 linebacker set, whatever it is. So it looks very different. Like your calls and everything will look different based on what the defense shows.
So sometimes I notice you and other centers, you walk up over the ball, and before you bend over, what are you pointing to the middle linebacker, the most dangerous guy? What are you pointing out?
It depends on what the concept is. Sometimes I'll point to the guy that we're not working to. Sometimes I'll point to the guy that we are working to. Sometimes I'm pointing to the guy that the running back is supposed to be taking. Sometimes I'm pointing to the guy that we're taking. It really just depends. But my kind of setup is find the front, ID the front, tell everyone what the front ID is going to be, call out the blocking technique or the system that we're going to operate under, and then you have individual kind of combo calls after that, whether it's run or pass.
All right. So then sometimes you get to the line of scrimmage, and then the quarterback is saying stuff. What was it? Manning always used to say Omaha.
Yeah, that's right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So then the big thing is, the great quarterback's audible because they see something in the defense.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So what's the real story there? Well, how does an audible work?
Well, in the offenses I've ran with here in Edmonton and in Hamilton, it's been basically audibles are pre-checked audibles. Typically, I've almost never had it where quarterbacks just call their own plays whenever they want. It never happens. But they do get green lights for like a few different plays where it's like, if you see this front, you can look to either this, that, or the other thing. And usually works.
So is it just one word, though, that they say that switches it, or is it also a series of words?
In my experience that I've had, it's usually like they'll call the play. So it's not just like a single, like you're not just going to get an Omaha and then it's a completely new picture, right? But like quarterbacks in Edmonton and in Hamilton have both done it where they see a defensive front showing something and then they'll call out of it. So.
And have you ever thought, because you're up there seeing the same, like have you ever thought to yourself, I hope he sees this and changes?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
he does,
that's part of
tell him after.
Oh, totally. That's part of the communication. Like during the week, we're preparing, and I'll be asking like, okay, so if you see this look, you're gonna audible into this. Yeah. Okay. It's at least so I can anticipate it. Because the more you can anticipate, the faster you play. So
are you at the point? And you might think this is a really dumb question. Are you at the point where you're ever fooled by what a defense shows you anymore?
Typically not. I've seen pretty much everything at least once.
Right.
I think the trick is, and that's why we spend so much time in the film room and stuff like that, is not just can you recognize it in the film room and whatever. You got to be able to do it instantly. You have to be able to recognize it and react accordingly on that moment.
See, this is what I love. I could ask stuff about this all day because it's so. And now, speaking of drawing stuff up in the huddle, Mookie Mitchell, I'm sure you've met. I know he retired before, but he said Flutie would do that.
Wow.
Because or he'd call a variation of a play.
Right.
Because he was just so confident and would have seen defensive backs' tendencies that he would say, okay, we're doing this, but Mook, you do this.
Oh, yeah.
Usually you wouldn't do this on this play, but you do this. So it wouldn't be totally drawing it in the sand, but he would tell one receiver, don't do what you usually do on this play, and we'll burn this guy. So
totally.
Little things like that. I don't know if if you guys do that. But that's what anyway.
Yeah.
I'll hand it over to Jay because I get so excited about.
I don't
this
know.
play
I just
calling
feel
stuff.
like you're like a little kid in a candy
I just
store.
feel I feel it's just such a like the quarterback has to be very smart, but all the guys have to be like the quarterback maybe gets too much credit sometimes. But it's a bit of a hive mind, right? Like
Totally
12
is.
guys.
100%.
Let's not say anything, but we're all seeing it.
Yes.
Right? Because
100%.
you don't want the receiver jumping up and down. Oh, we got him. He's got to act like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's so true. There's kind of both sides of that coin. Like you definitely don't want to be saying everything and letting the defense know obvious stuff.
Right.
But in the same sense, like you said, they still got to stop you. So
Yeah,
it
they
doesn't
still gotta
really
beat 'em,
matter
yeah.
what they know. It's just kind of you got to beat them.
Well, and speaking of quarterback, I mean, the center of the offensive line is the guy that would call the play within the play as to who you're getting to, who's got to be eliminated on this play for it to be successful, right?
Right.
I'm going to get to a few questions that came in the EST inbox here. And this one, I thought it was going to come. But you're here, so we're gonna involve you in it as well. But there's been a lot of discussion recently on the Rouge in the CFL, and whether it should be rewarded, because the definition of the Rouge was that a team gave up a Rouge, right, where they took a knee in the end zone, but there have been some instances where, I mean, in Toronto where the missed field goal.
Yeah.
That went a little bit viral south of the border as to and then Edmonton the last game of the year they had the walk-off punt.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
What are your thoughts, David Beard, CFL All-Pro lineman on the Rouge?
You know what? I got a really lame answer, and it's mixed feelings. Okay. It's kind of I think it's cool and unique to the CFL. I love how it kind of differentiates and something that you can kind of like hang your hat on and say, hey, like that's the cool part about the CFL is these abstract rules that you rarely get to take advantage of, but when they do, it's incredibly exciting. But on the other hand, it's kind of like, oh yeah, well, did Toronto deserve that? I don't know.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you 100%. And the
Mixed
fact
feelings.
that he celebrated it was just that little like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
I did not like that. Big Uke, he's got, what's the craziest play you remember seeing live? Either when you were on the field or on the sidelines.
Okay, right. In a game.
There's been so many. One that kind of sticks out that was a totally funny one. Back in Edmonton, we ran a screen to Nate Ajay.
Oh, I remember that.
It was in BC.
Yes.
And we're trying to get out there, the offensive line, like it's like a tunnel screen basically, and he gets the ball out there, and we're trying to play catch up because the ball's out way before we get there. And so we're the Hogs are scrambling to try and find a body to get onto, and he's bouncing around, and it kind of looks like he's about to fall over. And ends up busting it up the sideline for, I don't know, it was like 50 yards or something like that. Got a touchdown. Anyways, that one sticks out in my head. So shout out to Nate. But
he caught it like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It looked like the worst play ever called.
I thought it was over and somehow managed to weasel his way to the end zone.
But forgive me if I'm wrong, but is the screenplay not a little bit of, you're sitting around doing this as an offensive lineman as you're going out there, as you said, looking for people?
Yeah.
You're looking to destroy these people, right?
Yeah, no, that's the plan. I mean, it's high mass individual trying to locate a small, fast person is sometimes difficult. But
rewarding when caught.
Oh, rewarding, yes, of course. So you do enjoy them, but oh man, it's can make you look foolish pretty quick.
Okay, this one comes in from Bones. Ask David what Oski Wee Wee means.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. Like
Their chant.
I looked it up online. That's what I had to do. I looked it up and it's something to do with the steel workers and it's a mystery to this day, apparently. We still don't know. So
what was it? Oski Wee Wee, Oski Wawa.
Holy Mackinac, Tigers, eat 'em raw. So
there you go.
Well, and the
Beats me.
Pigskin Pete, the original Pigskin Pete passed away a few years ago, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
No,
There's been a handful, or maybe less, of them.
That
over the years,
is a great tradition.
It is cool.
Even better if you don't know what it is. X-Ray J in the nasty chat says, you'll like this one, David. Can I ask, is it commonplace for D linemen to play dirty, or is there a level of respect for your opponent? And if you're done dirty, how would you get your pound of flesh?
Ooh, interesting question. Is it commonplace? I would say no, it's not commonplace. When you get those dirty plays, it's you kind of blackball yourself, and it doesn't really matter what team you're on or what. Like even if it's your own teammate, you got somebody acting like an absolute clown out there, you got no time or space for that. So that's the first answer to the question. Second was, how do you get your pound of flesh afterwards? Honestly, you can't really. There's no way to really get back the way you might want to. It's you got to play between the whistles, otherwise you end up paying the price for it too. And
you can't fight.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even go like this, you might get kicked out.
Oh,
in
totally.
Football, right?
Yeah. No, it's getting more and more touch and go as the years go on.
People listening saying like this, I shoved my palm towards David's face.
It's possibly the most stupid fight you can have in any sport is a football fight.
Yes.
Like, way to go, bud.
You have a concrete bucket on your head.
I have a steel face mask in front of me that you're punching me with your hands. It just does not make sense.
Yeah.
Now, another question that comes in here from Jason. And this one, I'd love to know what you thought. I saw a picture of you in overalls as well. What was Bo Levi Mitchell's secret sauce this season?
I don't know. I mean, that's a great question for Bo. What I do know is those overalls worked for a handful of weeks until I put them on, and then we lost. So that's all I know for sure.
Oh,
that was a big problem. Yeah, that was against Winnipeg, and Stavros Katsantonis and I were like, "We're going to join Bo," and did it, and we lost. So.
Oh my!
It's probably our fault.
Man. Well, appreciate your honesty there.
Yeah.
Good question. We'll get to more of your questions here. David's going to stick around until the top of the hour. Man, former Golden Bears. We got Jay, we got David, and we got, of course, Trent Brown and James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, presenting our studio. The heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com today and book your private consultation. David Beard from the Tiger Cats, former U of A Golden Bear, in studio. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
There's 5 games in the NHL with the Red Wings taking on the Penguins of Kings, duking it out against the Avs, and the Caps battling the Maple Leafs. Hampus Lindholm of the Bruins will miss multiple weeks after sustaining a lower body injury in last night's win over the Blues. And in the NFL, Brian Robinson slots back in for the Commanders tomorrow when they take on the Eagles, while newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out with an injured hamstring. Elsewhere, the Colts call upon Anthony Richardson as a starter this week, while the Raiders will stick with Gardner Minshew. And basketball has 9 games, including the Celtics tipping off with the Nets, the Knicks hitting the court with the Bulls, and the Pistons against the Milwaukee Bucks. This sports update has been brought to you by Sit and Sleep. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payments for 18 months interest-free. Sit and Sleep. Find them beside Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common, or check them out online at sitandsleep.ca. On the other side of the break, David Beard sticks around with Reid and Jay. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
780 is just another lame-ass, low-budget local shop. Homegrown right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 1,000 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
All right, we are back in studio here on the Reid Wilkins Show. We've got special guest, local CFL All-Pro offensive lineman, free agent too, baby. I mean, what a year! What timing! This is fantastic. David Beard joins us here. We were talking in the break there about a rather unique living situation that you carved out for yourself in Hamilton this year. Camping it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this would be glamping.
Glamping, yes.
Okay.
Glamping, yes.
Can you explain how you and your family glamped throughout the whole season?
Yeah, well, my wife and I, we were trying to save a chunk of change this past year, and we opted to get inside of a trailer and pull around over to Hamilton, set up shop at a local RV park, and it was awesome. We had a really good time, and that was home for 5 months, and it was really awesome. The real kicker was we opted to do this, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time and save a little bit of cash. 3 days after I signed the papers for that trailer, found out we were expecting. So that was the kicker.
So that's what I'm thinking as a father of three, going through my head of just a camper, an enclosed space. Mind you, a campground does afford a lot of luxuries to a kid, right?
Oh yeah,
You said there was a pool there?
Yeah. No, it was a great campground. Shout out to Olympia Village there. It was awesome. They had a big pool, big playground. They had all kinds of events for the kids and stuff like that, and lots of other young families and some snowbirds in the campground. So it was really, really awesome. We had a good time, and a lot less screen time, which was great.
Sure,
a lot less screen time, a lot more outside time. Lots of great fires and good camping style food. So it was awesome.
Now, David, you're not a small man.
True.
You're a rather large human being. What was the food situation like? I mean, are we cooking a lot outside over the open fire? Or, I mean, I can just imagine that in the kitchen and that, and I know there's push outs and whatnot, but like I said, you're a vast man. So what was the eating situation like?
Well, it was non-negotiable. I was going to have to bring my Traeger. So we did have to get onto the smoker quite a bit. That was awesome. We love that. But the trailer was awesome, good setup. So we had a blacktop grill that we got into a little bit, and barbecue, and toaster ovens and regular ovens, and it was a good setup, man. It was pretty fun. We had a good time.
Okay, there's a couple of us smokers in the office here. We love our Traegers. Gager's one of them. Myself as well. What's your go-to?
Pork ribs. I'm a bit of a noob to this. Like I got my smoker the beginning of last year.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so I did my first brisket this summer with the boys. We went out to the cottage of the O-line. That was good. That was real good.
Now, are you on the Traeger app and everything? Like, are you doing 3-2-1 ribs? Have you done that?
I've heard about them. Everyone raves about them, but I had a buddy who kind of just sent me a personal recipe, so I've been messing around with that for a while. So
the play calling lingo I understood better than the smoker lingo.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a foreign world, Reid. It's a strange world.
It's just cool.
It's black hole, though. You get into that.
Do you get tired of the comments, though, about O-linemen and how much you guys eat, or is it true?
No, it's 100% true. Yeah, we love it. We love eating, and we love good food, and it keeps us going.
Well, and
you're burning it off, right?
Yes, of course.
Well, I said to Reid, every offensive lineman I've known has drastically lost weight after they've completed their playing career, because they're just not you eat for purpose right now. You eat to maintain size.
This is true.
And if you're working, lifting, you've got to have that energy in your body. But after the fact, I mean, it's
less of a pull. Now you're eating for enjoyment. Exclusively. Which is a good reason, too.
Give us a thumbs up if you're tuning in on YouTube. We try to get to 100 every show. I hope you're enjoying the David Beard interview, because we certainly are. X-Ray J has another good question. Speaking of food, what is a game day meal plan?
Game day meal plan. Love big breakfast. So credits to my wife family. We've called it Van Dyken style eggs. It's my wife's maiden name. But it's usually like just bacon and eggs, bacon under the eggs. So it's real nice finish to it. So that's typically the mornings when it's home games. Obviously, road games are their own beast. But it's mornings, and kind of keep it light. I like to play hungry. I don't like to play full.
Oh.
When I'm full, I just feel slow and lethargic and whatever. So
sure.
I like to play on an empty stomach and be famished afterwards.
You're saying road trips, and I often ask this about athletes and where they're playing, and I mean I know you're from Edmonton, so the easy answer would probably be playing in a road trip here. But stadium wise, amenities wise, what's the stadium that you look forward to going to each year the most?
That's a good question. I'd say Ottawa's up there. They got a real good food scene, and we've been talking about it. Offensive line, a lot of the quality revolves around food. So, yeah, Ottawa's got really good food scene. Credits to them. Where else we got? Hamilton's got some sneaky food. Sneaky good food spots. And you know what? I heard this this news report basically from Simeon Rotier when we played together in Edmonton. He told me about how awesome the food scene was in Hamilton. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. No, it's true. It's 100% true. Hamilton's got a good food scene.
Oh, right, because was he drafted by the Tiger Cats and then came here?
That's right, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so.
And he was U of A even before Chris, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't even know what year it was, but first overall.
Yeah, he was not
like
far
08
after
or
me,
something,
actually.
maybe?
Yeah, he was.
Maybe he was a little later than that, but he was. But I think when he came, I think it was right after Ricky left. So I think Rotier was blocking for Giles and Kerry Joseph.
Yep.
And then
he was.
You got to. Did you play in the 15 Grey Cup? I can never remember.
No,
I had PR.
Broken hand.
Oh, you had a broken hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what was your draft year?
2015.
So okay, that was your rookie year, but
Yeah.
you did play games that year for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I dressed for 9 of them. And I was 6-man. So
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Learning my ways, learning the ropes.
It's kind of funny today. Our off-topic topic. Did you hear it earlier? You're gonna like it. So okay, first of all, the reason we do this, we do an off-topic topic. So today, John Krasinski, the guy from The Office, was named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. So our off-topic topic is the sexiest male Edmonton athlete of all time. And I always love talking to Mike. And there were like women at Ched when he would come in. They're like, "Oh, Mike's coming in today. Maybe I'll stay a little later."
There you go.
But he had that, didn't like he had that thing, right?
Oh yeah. He's a beauty. I tell you that for free. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He had the charisma though, right? Like he loved being. Because there were some quarterbacks I'm like, does he really like being the focal point? I thought with Mike, he's like, okay, like I'll take it,
Mike's a legend. I love Mike. It was a lot of fun playing in front of Mike, and I do know that I watched that happen quite a bit. There's a bit of a flock I like to follow. So
okay,
yeah,
we'll leave that there. You are up for the Jake Godower Veterans Award. I'll read how the league describes this. The CFL player, a Canadian CFL player who best demonstrates the attributes of Canada's veterans: strength, perseverance, courage, comradeship, and contribution to Canadian communities. Each team has a player, so you're one of 9, and I guess they're naming it tomorrow. I think I'm right, but just to be up for that, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it was a cool little recognition that kind of came by surprise. It was I had to do some reading on it. Truthfully, I didn't really know about the write up or whatever, but it's just appreciated to be recognized for trying to have some admirable qualities and kind of tote the line and pull the rope a little bit. So I was just appreciative of it and happy to be nominated. And
we mentioned you're all CFL, so you've basically been named one of the 5 best offensive linemen in the entire league. I know you wanted to be in the playoffs. I know you wanted to be playing this week, but do you feel pretty good about the individual season? Did you feel this was maybe your best season in the league?
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of my better seasons for sure. It's kind of one of those things where it would be much more appreciated if I was playing this week. But it's one of those things that just makes me think of the guys who I play with. So not to be cliche, but it's like guys don't receive these awards with a bunch of players who really struggle around them.
Mm-hmm.
So got to give credit to the guys that I play with that I can rely on, I can count on to do their job and to even help me when I'm in a pinch, right? So credits to them because it's these, as much as they're individual awards, they really are awards with the guys around them. So
yeah, well deserved. We were happy to see you get that.
Thank you.
All right, I want to talk to you about 2 cups before we let you go. First one, Stanley. Your favorite hockey team didn't quite get it, and most people listening, it's their favorite hockey team.
Yeah.
But you're playing pro sports while the Oilers are going through the cup run. How, if at all, were you able to follow it while you were having a very busy time in your life too?
Yeah. No, it was often being watched in the shop with some of my buddies. That's how it was. Is when we get a free time in the evening, kids are in bed, we'd go watch some of the games. So that was the kind of go-to method. But it was great watching. Shout out to Brett Kulak. He's a friend of some family, and I've been keeping close tabs on him. And picked up his jersey, and so he's number one on the cheering squad. So
4 goals already this
probably,
season.
Probably one of the more consistent Oilers this year.
There you go.
Is it pretty? Like, do a lot of Canadians in the CFL have favorite NHL teams? Are there little internal rivalries or bets maybe with some of the guys?
Yeah. I mean, like, since getting to Hamilton, you find out there's obviously quite a few Maple Leafs fans. So there's a few of those over there, and they like to think that Matthews is the same as McDavid, but I don't know. Not quite.
You tell them that's not quite the case.
Yeah, but that's all right. We get a good laugh out of it. So.
All right. Are the American guys, like, what sport are you talking about?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Is it something I like to cutting down trees, or what is it? So yeah. No, it's pretty good, but they have fun with it, and we'll typically watch it during breakfast in Hamilton. We got a little breakfast spot, and there's usually a screen up there with hockey highlights.
Oh, the previous day, previous day stuff you get to go over.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the Grey Cup is coming up here on Saturday, so Winnipeg is there again.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just around the league? It's like they're just I mean, even when they were 0-4, were you still like, okay, yeah, when is it coming?
Oh, I thought for sure this was the fall off earlier in the year. Like,
okay,
but you know what? They really found stride, and they're just doing Winnipeg things. So they definitely deserve to be there. They really came through at the end, or the back half, anyway. So yeah, credits to them. It's gonna be a good game.
Are you gonna be out there?
No, I'm not. I'll be here. Oh. Yeah. Figured I probably shouldn't cut loose with the new baby and 3 other kids.
Right.
So.
Well, see you, honey.
Yeah.
And how do you look at the Argos? I mean, we were talking about injuries earlier. It's got to be a little stunning to see your quarterback. I mean, I know he had that other story, like him or not, but he's a good player.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now all this shifts towards Winnipeg's even more heavily favored than they would have been. Like, do the Argos got to rally around that?
Oh, I mean, they have to, and they gotta be there for Arbuckle and keeping the focus, keeping the main thing, which is trying to win, right? So I know that's gonna be the messaging there in Toronto, and it is a bit of a bonding point, as terrible as it is that Chad went down, and nobody wants to see, regardless of maybe the history, regardless of that, nobody wants to see guys go down with that kind of injury or that kind of stuff. So I'm sure the guys are kind of bonding around that and rallying around that. So it'll be good. It'll be good to see Nick kind of take the reins for the week and see what he can do with a real big performance. So
it's interesting because you guys swept the Argos this year.
Yeah, that was a thing we hung on to.
That shows you how competitive it is in the CFL. Right?
Oh my goodness, yeah, seriously, it is a wild year. There's a lot of that, even like with Ottawa and Winnipeg and Toronto, it's just wild.
Well, every team had I guess, except for maybe Montreal, though they didn't finish. Every team had a obvious slump, and every team had an obvious burst.
Totally,
it was really weird.
And teams just match up differently. Like it's crazy that how we matched up well against Toronto this year, 3 for 3, and they're going to the Grey Cup now, and yet we're losing to a bunch of other teams, and it's just wild how that works.
Yeah. Okay.
Matchups are matchups.
Jay, I'll leave the last word for Golden Bear to Golden Bear.
Well, for Golden Bear, I'd say, speaking of shocked, did you hear what happened in the Hardy Cup last weekend?
Yeah, you know what? I actually didn't see it. I just saw highlights, but it was quite a shocker. That was with Regina, right?
Yeah.
Whew. Wow. That's crazy.
So that's another question. looking at other football leagues, are CFL guys talking and watching NFL stuff, or is it like you're just too busy doing your own thing?
I'm sure there are guys. I haven't been keeping too close to tabs. It's pretty much highlights that I'm getting for that stuff, but yeah, I just have a few other priorities in the mind at the moment. But
what are some of the priorities for you, young man, and your young family here in the off season?
Just spending some quality time, getting moved back into the house, working on an electrical apprenticeship as well in off season. So
nice,
chipping away at that, and yeah, just kind of getting back into training, getting ready for the next season, however that may come.
Well, David, we appreciate you taking the time to do a full hour in studio. That's incredibly generous of you. It's been really awesome for me, to cover you and have you on my shows from a Golden Bear and now to well into your pro career. And you had a great season, and hopefully you're playing for many more years, and we keep on talking. Thank you so much for coming in, and all the best with the new addition to the family and all of your stuff in the off season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That is David Beard from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. This is the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
UFC lives at the Canadian Brew House with the most TVs, great food and drinks, and the perfect party atmosphere. There's no better way to experience UFC 309 on November 16th.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret, unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Lottery license number 698984.
It's a 5-game slate in the NHL with the Golden Knights meeting the Ducks, the Hurricanes in Utah to play the hockey club, while the Maple Leafs get set to hit the ice with the Washington Capitals. And in Boston, Hampus Lindholm will miss multiple weeks after sustaining a lower body injury in last night's win over the Blues. Lindholm left the game yesterday after blocking a shot late in the first period. And staying in hockey, the Oil Kings welcome in Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers with 4 matchups around the WHL. For Thursday Night Football, newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out for the Commanders, while Brian Robinson returns to the matchup to face the Eagles. In LA, the Raiders will start Gardner Minshew this week, while the Colts named Anthony Richardson as the starter. In just a moment, it's the Pacers and Magic before the Celtics tip off with the Nets and the Bulls meet the Knicks. You're tuned in to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, which continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
we are back.
Having a cookie. Last of the cookies from my mom.
Wow. Those were lovely cookies.
Yeah. Very good. Wow.
Here's a
David Beard.
What a great interview. Holy smokes. What a, that's just who he is. Just a fun-loving, honest, hard-working guy.
Yep, I would agree.
And, I mean, he thought he was going to go play basketball professionally, for goodness sake.
That's crazy.
I mean, talk about athletic.
Yeah.
That guy could shoot a three-pointer better than anybody in this office.
Well,
sure.
certainly judging by how we do on the little EST hoop here.
It is bad.
All right. Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. UFC lives at the Canadian Brewhouse with the most TVs and big screens, great food and drinks, and the perfect party atmosphere. There's no better way to experience UFC 309 on Saturday. See you at the Brew. Yeah, we really appreciate David Beard coming in. I mean, a great story. I love the local success stories, the guys who are inspirations. He told this story, played at the U of A, gets drafted, plays for the EEs, gets traded to Hamilton. Tough. I mean, their season parallels to what the Elks did. You just fall behind and a burst near the end, but just not enough, right? Because you've put yourself in such a hole. I mean, they were 0-5, and then they were 2-9. As we saw with the Elks, you almost have to be perfect to get into the playoffs. And they flirted a little bit, right? They remember that crazy come from behind win they had in BC late September. They got up to 6-9, and they were thinking, okay, maybe we get in. And then they ran into a little team called Winnipeg and lost by 21 points, and away they went from there. But
here's just something just mind-boggling to think about. Okay, he played at the U of A from 2011 to 2014.
Okay.
It wasn't till Chris Morris came in 2013. That would be his third. He played D-line his first 2 years at U of A.
Right.
He did not play O-line until 2013, and then he went off and was a second-round pick in the 2015 CFL draft.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy, isn't it?
Like, just think of the athleticism involved in that transition.
Yeah.
And I was around the team at that time, and I was also a Bev Facey grad, so I followed David Beard for a long time. And it was just like, how can we get the most out of this massive human being? Because he's super athletic. Like, I mean that. He could run the court and shoot basket. Like, he was an extremely talented basketball player. But it just, it took, finally a guy like Chris Morris said, what are you doing on D-line?
Yeah.
No, sir, you're coming with me. And look at that, how that blossomed.
Yeah.
So just a great guy. Really happy for him. And very, prestigious awards here. He's up for the Veterans Award nominee as well. So kudos to him. Well done.
Give us a thumbs up if you are getting us on YouTube as we endeavor to hit 100 thumbs up every show. We're on pace for it, but we want to keep that piece going. Remember, contact your friends, neighbors, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and tell them to give us a thumbs up. And subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk as well. It just helps us overall getting more word for the station out there and bringing in more beautiful nasties like you. I had something else I wanted to talk about. Now I forgot before I get to the sexiness. The William Huff off-topic topic.
Me?
We had, yes, you, of course. We had a great burst of nominees, of picks early in the show. So John Krasinski named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. Who is the sexiest male athlete in Edmonton history? We got a lot of Surrey, but send us stuff. Keep sending it in because we'll kind of name an unofficial. Would Surrey be the leader with Clefbaum hovering and Leon hovering?
Yeah, Sheldon Surrey is definitely the leader in the clubhouse.
Okay.
But Clefbaum, Gazdic, and Draisaitl are sniffing around.
Okay.
They are sniffing around, so send that in. We'd like to have closure on this.
Or whoever you would like to pick. Some of the people, I was really impressed. A couple of my friends, separately, they don't know each other, suggested Jason Giambi, who was a 1-year Edmonton Trapper in the mid-90s. He hit like 342 or something for the Trappers. Current Oilers, besides Draisaitl, Henrique, one of my buddies, said Stuart Skinner, somebody else, or Evander Kane as well. And Evander Kane did a body issues too for ESPN. Craig Simpson, Mark Messier for some of the Oilers of years past. Moon and Dunnigan, a couple other former quarterbacks. Which, you know what? Strudd's done actually well. He might be the fifth in that top 5. Now, he also did vote for himself.
Yeah.
Do we count that vote?
I guess he's just trying to,
But it's like how we were saying personality is a factor, right? Like Struds.
he's a funny person.
He's got the juice, right? He's Struds.
He is Struds. There's only one Struds, that's for sure.
Grumpy Cat says Ryan Jones. What do you think of that?
That's a little bit of a dark horse.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have thought of him off the bat, but very attractive young man. Sickler chimed in here. He said he asked his wife. She said Todd Ratty of the Edmonton Drillers.
I worked for the Drillers when he was there, and I do think he would be considered a handsome man. Do you even know that about me? That I worked for the Edmonton Drillers for 4 months between Nate and Lloydminster?
Yes.
Doing media relations and other jobs. It was not a highly staffed organization at that point. Yes, Todd Ratty. I do remember him.
And Eric
Vaguely.
Brewer.
Yeah. Somebody said, a female friend of mine said Eric Brewer, that he was her crush when she was younger.
Interesting. I guess, I would honestly hold that in higher regard.
The inner beauty? But again, we said sexiness is kind of the whole package. Michael Pekka. Well, that's from Jasmine. Johnny Alberta says Essa Tikkanen. Some of us can see the beauty within. I got a text about Tikkanen as well. This is very fun. We have to do more on sexiness on this show.
What about Igor Ulanov?
Ulanov, sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's about
Why not? It's all subjective.
Yeah.
But having said that, Surrey is probably going to win.
Yeah, I think this one's gone. Cody Ceci. I've seen that name now
yeah,
twice.
A lot of people liked Ceci. Yeah, a lot of the ladies especially.
I think he was pretty easy on the eyes, right?
Yeah. But the picture of Clefbaum we put up where I think it's the World Junior trophy he's got, and the abs are on full display after a game. That's a very popular picture in oil country, shall we say.
Yeah, Cody Ceci's, he's doing good for himself.
Oilers will play Nashville tomorrow. Calvin Pickard is your expected starter in goal, and Victor Arvidsson is 50-50 for that game, according to Chris Knobloch. So we'll have to see if he can go, if they make a call-up, or if they would go with 11 forwards and 7D for that game. 6 o'clock tomorrow, we'll have the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. All right, it is time for my world-famous top 3 presented by Food Sausage. The best sausages you will ever eat, locally made and packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in-store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering the online code or just mention EST in-store. Free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. All right, so what's this fight coming up on Friday we're talking about? Les Paul versus Mike Tyson. What's the guy's name?
Something like that.
What's his name again, Coop?
Jacob Paul or Jake Paul or Jack?
Paul
I don't know.
Versus Mike Tyson are having some sort of a boxing match, which I have sort of expressed a bit of disgust about, in that I just don't like that it's getting marketed to the extent that it is, or that I'm just kind of curious as to why as many people are interested in it as they are. I got to find my list here. I got too many papers going around. So I have my top 3 celebrity fights I'd like to see. Okay? So I'm not interested in Tyson Paul, but I might be interested in these ones if they were ever actually arranged. All right? You get the premise?
Wow. I'm down for this.
Top 3 celebrity fights I'd like to see. John Tortorella versus Larry Brooks.
Whoa.
Brooksy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The reporter he would always spar with the Rangers. Well, guess that's what I'm saying, isn't it, Brooksy?
That would be a good one.
If somebody announced these guys are going to box, even if it's for charity or whatever, I would think I'll tune into that. Even if they were doing it for charity, there might be a little hatred spewing in that. By the way, you can make your suggestions as well, 780-218-9999, or the nasty chat, read at edmontonsportstalk.com is the email. Give me a celebrity fight you would like to see other than Paul versus Tyson. Okay? So, John Tortorella versus Brooksy.
That's really good.
Thank you. That's probably my best one of the three. Oh, I want to get to a limerick here from the Big Uke first. McDavid gets to one away from a thou. An EST calendar? Maddie says yes, but how? Reid asks, who is a hunk? Was Connor's goal actually junk? Tomorrow night, Oilers get another. Pow, pow. Big Uke is good. He is a talented mountain of magma.
I don't know why I laugh at that every time.
Well, what? It's good.
It's just a mountain of magma.
The Big Uke is a mountain of magma.
He is. He's hot, steaming magma. It's like from an Austin Powers movie, I swear, right? Like how they talk about
Yeah, there was
magma.
Yeah, magma. I think it might have been the second one. Maybe it was the first one. Molten red hot magma. What was the guy's name? Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Was going to put somebody in a vat of magma or something like that. Oh, it might have been the first Austin Powers. Classic film.
Classic.
I don't know if they could do it nowadays, because the beauty of that movie was they did not put Dr. Evil in any of the ads. And people didn't spoil it. And there was no online to spoil it, right? So Mike Myers plays Austin Powers. And I remember I didn't see the movie till I rented it. I was working at Blockbuster, and I rented it when it came out. And you see the Dr. Evil character. Wait a minute, is that Mike Myers? Well, wait a minute, he's the best part of the movie. They didn't tell us about this. Well done.
Yes.
Where was I?
Number 2.
Top 3 celebrity fights I'd like to see. Austin Matthews against my mother.
Oh, wow.
You like that one?
I love that.
Because I think, okay, what's the commercial that has Austin Matthews in? Is it an RBC commercial?
Yes, and he's got that cheesy suit and the cheesy mustache. He looks like a bum.
I think it's supposed to be cheesy, but it's so cheesy that it's too cheesy.
He leans into the cheesiness. Like it's so bad, he thinks it's funny.
Right.
I don't know. I think he looks terrible.
Because if there was a boxing match between, and I'm trying to picture this now, between Austin Matthews and my mother.
Is Louise a left to southpaw?
No, she'd be right-handed.
She'd be a righty.
But I think, they'd probably have to wear the headgear, and they'd have the gloves, and they'd be ready to. And Austin Matthews would probably be thinking, I am not going to punch this woman. And my mom would be thinking, I'm going to obliterate this bastard from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
He would have another thing coming.
He would kind of go to the center of the ring, and first of all, they would touch gloves. The ref would talk to them, and they'd touch gloves, and he'd probably be smiling, and my mom would just be glaring at him.
Undercut straight to the nuts.
Well, I don't think she'd cheat. That would be funny, though.
Oh, you can low blow. You just get a warning.
But then they would come out, and Matthews would kind of be like, okay, playfully going to box. And my mom would just start throwing haymakers. And all she would need was to connect one. Forget about connect 4. Just connect 1.
Oh, wow. I would not want to be on the bad side of Louise.
No, so then Matthews, now he's in a predicament. Okay, now he's boxing a senior citizen.
It's a lose-lose
in what
situation.
he thinks is a fun charity match.
That's right.
And he's gone to the center of the ring, and Reid Wilkins comes out firing. Like all the rage he's expressed to him through the television for years, now she can act on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Reid Wilkins is full beast mode.
Yep.
Okay? And she starts pummeling. Now what is Matthews going to do? First of all, he's shocked. He's thinking, this woman is actually punching me. This woman is punching me as if she wants to beat me up. So now he has to process that.
Do you think she's going straight for the face, or is she incorporating body shots?
She's going straight for the face. She's trying to knock the mustache right off his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's what Louise is doing. So she's pummeling Matthews in the face. I think she knocks him out.
I think there's no question.
I think before he can even react quick enough to defend himself or counterpunch, it's done. Like 7 seconds.
Well, I've never seen him fight. So, yeah, I agree.
My mom hasn't texted me yet, so she's probably horrified.
There's a delay.
That I'm going this detailed. Into the fight between my mother and Austin Matthews.
That would be a pay-per-view. That would be a big pay-per-view.
Who wouldn't like that? Do we have any suggestions?
Yeah. Norman a Combine. Sean Bell versus Matt Cassian.
Oh, my goodness.
The battle of
They're
the
colleagues.
EST Titans.
The battle of the EST heavyweights.
Yeah. That would be good.
No, Gager's the one who went crazy, though, in a
That's
Swedish
true.
hockey game.
He did go crazy. Maybe it could be a Royal Rumble. Throw Dusty in there. He'll just come in and start coughing on you.
Oh, geez. I hope somebody did a farewell video for Dusty on not on Instagram, on
There's a Twitter tribute
yes,
video to Dusty.
He's been quite under the weather. He's been able to go call play-by-play a couple times. We haven't seen him at EST for a while. We miss him, and we hope that he's back soon.
I saw somebody just beaking him in the Nazi chat today on the oil stream, calling him out for doing the CFL stuff but not doing this stuff.
Well, that's a national broadcast.
Yeah, it's kind of important.
Yes. And let's face it, he owns EST.
He's kind of the boss.
If he wants the time off to go see, it's not as if we're all whispering behind his back or like going to complain to the boss like, hey, we're all covering for him here and he's off doing CFL.
No,
he's the boss.
Want him to be healthy.
He's the boss.
The office is a better place with him here. So we all miss him for sure. Gage versus Cass comes in.
People are just making EST suggestions.
Yeah,
along with our
I've got a
calendar.
really good one.
Okay, I'll give you the third one because my third one I wasn't too sold on.
Okay. So there was a time where there was an offer sheet placed on with Dustin Penner.
Oh, the barn.
And Kevin Lowe was called out by Brian Burke.
Right.
That he would fight him. And I'd like to see that fight. I've always wanted to see that fight. Because Brian Burke could sure run his mouth. But I bet you that guy would turtle like a giant chicken if he had to.
Well, Kevin Lowe played in the NHL.
Kevin Lowe would pummel his you know what. And I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Because I've never been a big fan of Brian Burke. Mr. Oh, look at me. I don't tie my tie. I put a tie around my neck.
You know what?
But I don't tie it. Screw off.
That did annoy me after a while.
Tie your damn tie.
Like tie the and plus just don't wear a tie. Don't have the tie full length.
Don't do
on
it.
either
Like, what are you
side.
going to have, a cigar hanging out your
that
mouth
was a little
next?
much. Oh, maybe.
Dork.
That is a good one. So purely for fun, that is our top 3 celebrity fights we'd like to see instead of Paul versus Tyson.
Sean Bell versus the Rouge. That comes in from Rip City Step.
We'd need a physical representation of the Rouge, though. That's the only problem.
And Mike, the Michigan fan, says Lieutenant Eric versus Iwanek.
Oh, my goodness.
That would be a scrappy one.
That would be pretty
Two
spicy.
wiry guys going at it. They're both wiry.
All right. Remember to hit the thumbs up on YouTube as we move into the final 2/3 of an hour of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. We'll see what Jay is fired up about, and we'll get some final thoughts on the Oilers and some other things we talked about today. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Check him out at jameshbrown.com today and book your private consultation.
In about 10 minutes, the Maple Leafs face the Capitals and the Red Wings meet with the Penguins. Later, we got the Hurricanes against the Utah Hockey Club before the Golden Knights hit the ice with the Ducks and the Kings see the Avalanche. Hampus Lindholm of the Bruins will miss multiple weeks after sustaining a lower body injury after blocking a shot late in the first period in the Boston win against the Blues. In the NFL, Brian Robinson slots back in for the Commanders tomorrow when they take on the Eagles, while newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out with an injured hamstring. Elsewhere, the Colts call on Anthony Richardson to start, while the Raiders stick with Gardner Minshew. Basketball has 9 games, including the Celtics tipping off with the Nets, the Knicks hitting the court with the Bulls, and the Pistons against the Bucks. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew, whether recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance. Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at advantagesportmed.ca. Just after the break, it's fired up for Gemco Fireplaces here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Fly Away to LA. Presented by the Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for two, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta injury lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Oh my, what a day. Thanks a lot for checking out the show. Hope you're enjoying it. We sure enjoy doing it. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Zach Kubusch working behind the scenes and giving you your sports update here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. The Oilers may or may not have Victor Arvidsson in the lineup tomorrow. Head coach Chris Knobloch saying he is 50-50, didn't practice today because, well, maintenance day is what they called it. They didn't disclose any specific problem. Oilers Predators tomorrow, already the last time this season the Oilers will play the Predators. They won the first two in Nashville. Trying to go for three in a row, finally. Well, they would finally win three in a row. They haven't done that yet this season.
Well, and speaking of the Cube, who's been handling everything behind the glass, the Cubinator, Matt Hyman said a fight he would like to see. Alexis Kubicki versus Zachary Kubusch.
Oh, wow.
There can only be one Cube, he says.
Nice callback to a previous guest.
Yeah. In order to be the Cube, though, you'd have to beat her up, Zach, and I don't know that you could do that.
I will be the only Cube standing by the end of that fight.
Okay.
Maybe you're a very confident man.
It's all false. I'd get my ass whooped.
Yes, most likely. An actual boxer against any of us, I don't think would go very well.
Yes.
That would be one. I think that would be one of those things. If I had to box Alexis Kubicki, I mean, the only thing I would have is a height advantage, which she'd quickly negate. Because I would go in thinking, we were talking a lot about punching people in the last few minutes. I would go in thinking, okay, you're probably going to lose. And then she would punch me, and I would probably be thinking, wow, that hurt a lot more than I thought it would, and she's a lot quicker. And then that thought would get cut off by the second punch, and that would be the end of the fight.
That would be the end, yeah. Your thinking would get in the way.
Like, nobody would last, none of us at EST, I don't think, would last 5 seconds in the ring.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
15?
There have been some fighters here.
Oh, that work at EST?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Cass or somebody like that played in the NHL.
Let's put it this way. Alexis Kubicki would not last with Cass at all.
No, that'd be different.
That would just be unfair.
That'd be different. Yeah, that'd be unfair. But
apples to oranges.
Yeah, apples to oranges.
I think you and her would be
well.
a decent fight. I'd pay money to see that.
That's another one of your celebrity fights.
Yeah.
I do not think I would last very long. All right. We got Jay taking the lead today for Fired Up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. Mr. Milne, take it away.
Well, I just drew that in memory of our dear Daisy Duck.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Daisy Duck's gone. And I'm a little fired up because we got a fox problem. And he snuck into a little area, and but that's what happens, Reid. When you live out on the farm and you have animals like that are in with nature, things are going to happen. And he obviously took he or she, it could be Mrs. Fox, I don't know.
Right.
Probably took the easiest target. So yeah, that's sad. Daisy will be remembered. We had some good times with Daisy. Next goes out to my welding people. We've celebrated. We had Welders Appreciation Day here on the show, so I'm going to have to lean on you for this one. Now, this is right out of the X-Files, and I'm just a little bit fired up because this happened. So we have quite a long driveway, okay? And my wife saw somebody pull up into the driveway and then take off. And I don't know if this is some sort of a sign or what I should expect about this or what this is exactly for. But this implement was dropped off at the end of my driveway. And if you're not on the YouTube, this looks like, and if you know what this is, please let me know. This was definitely welded. And actually, I think looking at the welds quite well. Mm-hmm. This was some good work. I don't know if this is a flag stand. It isn't like this was just dropped off somebody's truck. It was tucked in right in front of our, off to the side on our driveway, kind of like where the girls would sit getting ready for the bus.
Okay.
This didn't just fall off somebody's truck.
Well, and your wife saw somebody pull in, right?
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, what's the message being sent here to the Glue household?
That is strange. Okay, so a few things come to my mind. Did somebody think they were dropping this off for somebody and that had been prearranged? Hey, Jerry, I need one of these. Oh, I have one. I'll just put it at the end of your driveway tonight. And it was your driveway and not that person's. That's one thing that comes to mind.
It could be. Maybe I should put that on the neighborhood chat.
You should, I think. Hey,
I think I should.
This got left at the end of my driveway. Was anybody expecting one of these dropped off?
That's a great
You think
idea.
it's a flag stand?
Dude, that thing weighs like 30 pounds. That is solid
Because
steel.
it has a tube that's a hollow tube of metal, right?
Yeah.
But
that's like half-inch thick steel. It is substantial.
So it's meant for supporting something.
Something goes in there, like Jodes in the Nasty Chat says, a Christmas tree stand. Like, yes, you could put a Christmas tree in that and it would hold it. Like, maybe
okay,
it is that heavy.
Another thing is this is some sort of a threat from somebody that you don't understand what it is. I don't know what that would be.
That's what. Yeah, I can't figure out how this would be associated with any sort of a threat.
Like, hey, Jay, we're coming for you. Now, sorry.
No,
I cut you off.
But I mean, it was it was weird to just have that randomly show up. And it's like anybody. If you wouldn't want anybody just showing up randomly to your house unannounced that you don't know, especially with kids and such.
So could that be? So as we know, okay. So Norman at Combine says it's a gate post holder.
Bring it up again, Zach.
Bring it up again for the people on YouTube because I don't know anything about this type of stuff. So could this be related to what we were talking about yesterday on the show when you were talking about going to use that lift? Use the, not the Bobcat, what did you call
skid steer.
The skid steer. Could have somehow somebody thought that this helped, or they maybe misunderstood what you were talking about and thought you needed a stand for a tree or a gate post or something like that, like Norm is saying. Abotsky says, or Bootsky, sorry, says mailbox holder. So it's something to hold an item that has some sort of a trunk or a stem or a post, right? That's what we think it is. So could somebody have heard what you were talking about yesterday and maybe thought an item like this could help? But then again, they would have to know where you live. Most of the nasties would not. A neighbor might know where you live. The nasties wouldn't know where you live.
Yeah, I just still can't. I mean, a gate post, Norm, like that, that would be a really insignificant gate.
Well, you'd need another one, right? Would you need one for each?
Bottom gets cemented into the ground. The gusset, which is the angled part, is for support. Okay. So maybe there's, maybe it is an umbrella holder.
Todd says it's an umbrella holder. Okay, so we're not, we kind of know what its purpose is.
Here's what I need to go find is somebody in the neighborhood that's putting up a gate.
Yeah, so you have a neighborhood chat, though?
I do.
So you could post this in there tonight. And so how many people is that?
I'm going to post it there right now.
How many homes is that? 40?
No, 30. Tops.
30. Okay. And so you could say, hey, guys, somebody left this at the end of my driveway. I don't need one, wondering if it was meant for somebody else.
I don't need a gate post, but
and your wife didn't see the truck or any markings on the vehicle. See, I could have been a detective. Any markings on the vehicle, ma'am, that were distinct?
Smitty the welder, it is thick. Thick to you and thick to me is totally different because you're actually a professional welder.
Yeah.
For me, it seemed it's heavy. It's to pick it up with one hand is a chore.
Yeah,
this is heavy duty.
Oh yeah, Smitty would have Smitty think thicker than our brains.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
That's what he's thinking of.
Big Uke says it's for sure a stand/holder of some kind. Can't think there is anything nefarious here. I would tend to agree with you. Now, the other thing, too, is we have people coming and going from our yard because my mother-in-law is building a house in our backyard.
Okay, so this is equipment somebody needs to help build the house.
Checked into it.
No,
Nope.
you asked the people building the house today?
That story don't hold.
Oh, man.
But it was almost placed at the end of the driveway, exactly like what you said. Like somebody was dropping this off for, hey, I left it at the end of your driveway beside the flower bed.
Yeah, hey, didn't want to come in or, was driving Mikey to hockey practice.
Yes. Yeah, welderdarity for sure. Looks like 1/4-inch material. Yeah, you could be right, Smitty.
Well, Smitty, if it's about, as we've learned, if it's about welding, Smitty's probably right.
100%. That's why I said I need to lean on my welderdarity here.
All right. Well, I think there's only one thing that needs to be done. I need to interrogate your wife.
Done.
So we need, and you're on the other side of the one-way mirror, observing her. So I'm like,
be interesting.
Mrs. Milne, are you mean to tell me you saw the vehicle drop it off, but you can't tell me anything about the vehicle? And I'm like, do you think I was born? So I'm the bad cop, right?
She'd be.
And then Gazzola comes in. Detective Gurnzola comes in, and he's the good cop.
He comes in.
I start throwing a tantrum, and he comes in. He's like, "Whoa, sorry about Detective
short
Wilkins.
Shorts and all."
Hey, sorry about he's got his short shorts.
He's trying to draw the ire of my wife.
Yeah, he looks very good as
Yes.
he usually does. He kind of sits across from
maybe,
your wife.
Maybe puts his leg up on the
I got
on
the leg
table.
up the table, and he's like, "Hey, sorry about Detective Wilkins. He's such a hothead here. He's going to get suspended again, probably." But yeah, what was he asking about? Some crazy theory about a truck? Wow. Do you want to just go over that again for then he good cops?
Yeah, then he gets it out of
He's
her.
like all gentle about it after I'm Detective Crazy Wilkie.
You might be onto something here, Crazy Wilkie.
Yeah. So I think that's the only thing we have to interrogate your wife. Did she see any markings on the truck? Now I want to know.
No.
Was it at night?
No, it was white.
Oh, she did see the truck.
We're looking for a white truck with a welding unit in the back of it. It was a welding truck.
Oh, it was. Okay. Well, see, you've been withholding some details. You've been withholding some details. What does the Milne family have to hide? They say they don't know why this object showed up at the end of their driveway. But the more we talk to them, the more that came out.
Nate the Builder says, I build houses. That thing isn't used for anything I've ever seen. Big Uke says that Tom would come in dressed like a cop from Reno 911. X-Ray J, who's also another, established, he's a welding inspector. At least that's what I believe. Whomever welded this took the time to ensure the caps were well cleaned. Yeah, they are rough. Like it would cut you if you tried putting your hand in that tubular opening.
In the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smitty the welder, I think it fell off the truck. Smitty the welder, I don't think it did because it just ended up in a really
the truck slowed down, right?
Spot.
Right.
I mean, this is great.
Yeah, would something like that fall off? It was a pickup truck.
But even so we've established that this is a gate post. that would get cemented in.
Okay.
I would think some sort of an aluminum fence post, like what do they call it? When it's like a fence that's like cross X's.
Chain link?
Chain link.
Okay.
One of those
Thank you,
types.
Coob. One of those fences with the X's.
And we do have cameras, but our driveway's way out there. We don't have access to that.
To what?
To seeing at the end of the driveway. Like Nest cameras and stuff.
Oh, cameras. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, people are curious, even more curious than I am. Give us a thumbs up and help solve this mystery. Or give us some questions Jane needs to ask.
Yeah, what do I ask the neighbor?
Where does Detective Wilkie go next with this? Or does Detective Gernzola need to take over the investigation?
What's a henway?
People are giving us terms we don't know. Like, have to assume we know nothing about anything when we're talking about this type of stuff. Or with anything, really. What is a henway? Maybe it's where a henway is where a chicken walks. Hey, have you seen Dolores? Well, yeah, she's on the henway. She's a chicken. Bark, 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 bark. That's the freeway in Birdland. We have the hen day. The chickens have the henway.
We got
an egg truck has flipped over on the henway. There's yolk everywhere.
Oh.
And then Grant Morgenstein, henway? Oh, about 4 to 5 pounds. That's incredible. Anyway, sorry, you were actually doing something serious before I started talking about chickens. We don't know what's going on anymore. All right, here's what we know. Tom and I are now. Tom and I are now
with a henway.
Tom and I are now detectives. Your wife is somehow a suspect withholding information.
Oh God, that's
and there's an egg truck has overturned on the henway.
What's a henway? Totally got me.
780-218-9999. You can also enter the nasty chat on YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up as we close in on 100. The nasties, I think they like teasing us at this point. Because yesterday we were at something like 94 and we put out the call for a last push and it went up to like 105 almost. I think there are some people, they're like
toying
pleasure delayers or whatever. Like, I'm not going to hit like until 5:56. I'm not going to do it at 3:05. No, I'm going to do it last minute so they appreciate me more. We don't actually know who's doing what.
Coob, I've been photoshopped. I'm sending it your way.
Well, what happened now?
It has nothing to do with henway, okay? And yes, you got me. I was hook, line, and sinker. I saw it in the... You guys, if you could see what was going through my head.
Was everything people were posting as a joke?
No, Rip City Step said that's a henway in the inbox. And so I'm really focused on what the hell this implement is. So I'm not thinking of jokes or...
Oh, so he wanted us to say,
what's
a henway? And then the answer is 4 to 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick
so
up on that
I literally Googled, what's a henway? I'm not even kidding.
I thought it was a walkway or a road for hens, like the henway. or when chickens do modeling instead of the runway, it's like, here's Dolores. She's wearing a 1987 scarf that she found while picking for worms in the driveway.
So what's a henway?
Dolores is a beautiful hen, by the way.
The actual, what it says first is a henway is a type of joke where the first person in a conversation uses a term in a way that leads the other person to respond with what's blah, 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 question mark. Like, just totally pulled the wool over my eyes, that's for sure.
Yeah, I did. I did not know that that's where he was going.
Well, you know what?
But I'm glad he did.
Reid, we're dedicated to our craft. That's how much we wanted to know. Exactly what's going on with this metal implement. X-Ray J said it could be used to put on a rotating unit to weld pipe stock quickly. Interesting.
Well, this makes me very happy.
What's a henway?
You know what we have to do, though? What's a henway? Well, now we know what it is. But I have all this fictional things in my head. And now Dolores the hen is a character on this show, which I'm very happy about as well. Hey, Dolores, Which of these eggs are good to eat? Oh, none of them. Oh, sorry. All right, we got to do the EST Flyway to LA, presented by the 780. We're going to qualify people 4 times each week, plus once on Saturdays during Hello Hockey. We'll also get in somebody from the Nasty Club. This goes until the 28th, and then we give away this trip on November 29th during the Nielsen Show. The trip is December 26th through the 30th. Cool. It's a flight for 2 to LA with a hotel and a rental car. You get tickets to see the Clippers play the Warriors, the Rams play the Cardinals, and an NHL game featuring Edmonton. Text in this keyword to 780-218-9999. I'm actually having trouble concentrating right now. This is so much fun. It's like, I got to do the flyaway.
Oh, my gosh.
The keyword is festivals. This is the EST Flyway to LA, presented by the 780, a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com. That's the word 7, numbers 80.com. 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. I saw Dolores, the hen, was shopping in Kingsway the other day. 780-218-9999. Dolores the hen, the official bird of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. The official sports update deliverer is Zach Kubusch.
The Red Wings and the Penguins tied at zeros early in the first period, with the Maple Leafs battling the Capitals in just a moment. After that, it's the Hurricanes in Utah to face the Hockey Club, the Golden Knights, with puck drop against the Ducks, and the Kings matching up with the Colorado Avalanche. Staying in hockey, the Oil Kings welcome in Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers with 4 matchups around the WHL. For Thursday Night Football, newly acquired Marshawn Lattimore is out for the Commanders, while Brian Robinson returns to the lineup to face the Eagles. Right now, it's the Pacers up early over the Magic, with the Bulls and Knicks meeting, the Celtics and Nets going at it, and the Cavs and 76ers just getting underway. We got a quick break before the boys have the final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the Association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
All right, thanks, Coop. We are within 5 of 100 thumbs up Hammer it on YouTube. Get us to 100 once again. I think we've made it every show except for that. We had that short show a couple weeks ago. Remember, it was only like an hour and 45 minutes because we had the Chris Morris news conference and then the hockey game. So get us to 100. I know a couple of people have put in that once they get home from work, they hit it to get us up there. We would really appreciate it. We love hitting that milestone every day. Just wrote a limerick.
This ought to be good.
We hired a hen by the name of Dolores. The way she typed could really floor us. Hunt and peck, quicker than heck. Oh, how I hope she comes to adore us.
Wow.
Dolores the hen. She kind of types up some memos and stuff. Just does odd jobs around the office. I think, Jay, I think she wants to be on air someday, but I don't want to be the one to break it to her.
Doesn't have a face for online radio.
That's true. 780-218-9999. By the way, some portions of this hour are presented by the Canadian Brew House. The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level of ultra-cool TrackMan golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit thecanadianicehouse.com. Have you ever used one of these TrackMan simulators? I don't think I've done one yet.
No.
It's been a few years since I did a simulator, and I think the TrackMan isn't it different than some of the earlier simulators they used to have?
Well, TrackMan, from what I understand, was the actual software or whatever that the PGA used on their broadcast. So that's kind of how it got.
Well, because you can play a real course, right? If you go to these.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like these golf sims now are. Well, it's just like anything. The technology just surpasses, expectation time and time again. So yeah, the one that I know, like a friend of mine has this. It's his office. It is beautiful. It is.
He has one of these in his home?
In his office, in his, in town. And
I don't know if it's his office, if he has a golf simulator in it.
Oh, it's an office.
How much work is being done?
Good question.
Oh, it's part of his larger office.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, step into my office for a meeting, and it's just the golf sim.
No, it's a big warehouse.
Where's your desk, dude?
It's a big warehouse. And anyways, he's got this golf simulator, and it's actual live pictures. There we did it.
Got to 100 thumbs up. Thank you, Nasties.
It's actual live pictures of the golf course that they cut together. So it's not a cartoon. It's actual images of like Pebble Beach, per se.
It's photorealistic.
Yeah. Like not
It's not a computer
generated
rendering.
That's right.
Do you remember, and we're going to get to the qualifier in a second, someday, maybe not in the hockey season, maybe when it's the Oilers aren't going or something like that, I would love to do a sports video game focused show.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't just want to talk about the current stuff. And I'll just quickly mention this now. I'll probably get a couple nostalgia comments in the inbox or in the nasty chat. In the, I want to say, mid to late 90s, there was a golf series. There were a couple of games, and I think then they had some course add-ons. It was just called Links. And it was known for having higher-end graphics at the time. The courses almost looked photorealistic, but it had to refresh. So if you re-aimed, if you even moved your golfer like 5 degrees left, it would take 10 seconds to sort of redo the picture. But it looked incredible. Like it was just called Links. And I remember they had one with St. Andrews. You could play, like they had a rendering of Arnold Palmer or a depiction of Arnold Palmer in the game. It was a really good game. It was just called Links. I did say the word, didn't I? I did say the word just once.
Oh, we qualified
festivals. We've qualified somebody.
Actually, just before we get to this is an interesting picture Zach found. I'm kind of embarrassed that it got brought up, but
what is this now?
Well, it's just I people don't know this, but I horse ride in my spare time.
What's going on there? What?
It's a passion of mine.
I got to get a better look.
Somebody
at my
found
own
it
screen here
online there, so. It's a little embarrassing. It's tight pants, but
what's this?
I don't know.
Is this part of the calendar?
Somebody, yeah,
that's you.
This is Waddy. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's more. We're gonna get to these.
All right, let's get Cody on the line.
Yeah.
Cody is our qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. Cody, how's your day been?
It's been not too bad.
Right on. Did you watch the Oilers last night?
I did.
What'd you think?
Pretty good game. could use some special teams like that. It's headed in the right direction, I think, though.
Yeah, I hope so. If you won this fly away to LA, it's a trip for two. Who would you take?
Oh, I'd probably have to take the wife.
Okay.
I love how everybody's saying that.
People are like, yeah.
And they're all kind of saying it the same way. Well,
all right.
Got to take the old ball and chain.
I'm going to change the way I ask this question because everybody says Disneyland. So have you ever been to Disneyland?
I have when I was little, yeah.
When you were little. Okay, so you have been to the LA area. Would you go back to Disneyland if you ever had the opportunity?
Yeah. My wife wants to go and take the kids one day again, so.
Okay, cool. Hey, Cody, congratulations on qualifying. Listen to the Nielsen Show on November 29th when we name the winner. And thank you so much for listening to EST in this program. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Have a good night.
That is Cody qualifying. The reason I asked it that way is because Jay and I will usually ask, have you ever been to LA before? Yes. What did you do? Went to Disneyland. So I just skipped ahead and said, have you ever been to Disneyland? That's this has been a very fun show today. And I guess I did say the word. I just said it once because a few people have been like, did he say the word? Yes, but you got to listen.
Yeah.
That's the point. You got to tune those ears in to my cadence. It's like calling an audible. You got to pay attention on the O-line. All right, what do you have? You're conspiring to do something.
No. I'm just the Henway, man. I still can't get off the Henway.
What's on the Henway? It's where chickens drive. It's the chicken version of a freeway. That's how Dolores gets home every day.
Hey, Koob, check the email. There's a couple gooders in there.
Because that's how Dolores gets home.
Is the Henway.
Yeah, Dolores, our hen here at Edmonton Sports Talk, that's how she gets home. She takes the Henway.
I haven't been as close to crying on air as I am right now out of pure laughter.
We've done a lot today. We've covered sexy athletes. We've broken down the Oilers.
Speaking of
game
sexy
and
athletes,
latest news.
These are from Waddy and Cloverdale.
What
by the
is
way.
going on
He's
now?
saying these are submissions for the ESC calendar. That's the Koob
I
in
can't
the
see
ring.
that well enough now. I got to wait for it comes up on my screen here.
There you go. It's Koob as that would be
As
Muhammad Ali.
That's amazing.
Oh, Big Maple says, how many clucks per hour is the speed limit on the
And then
Henday?
there's me as Paul Henderson celebrating. Another shot right in front. They score. Henderson has scored for Canada.
Yes, that was pretty good. Wow.
But people like the Photoshop, eh?
Wow, it's big. Big business.
If we do an EST calendar, and I think we might actually look into doing it, there'll be real photos. They won't be Photoshopped.
I think that's an off-topic topic for...
And Dolores the hen will be prominently featured in some of the photos.
Perhaps
she'll have the most provocative one.
She'll be an Easter egg.
That's right. That's right. She'll be an Easter egg. I got the yolk. Oh, you cracked me up.
Oh, my God. We're off the rails.
Oh, my goodness. All right. 780-218-9999. Thanks to getting us over 100 in the thumbs up on YouTube. Really appreciate the big push. The Big Maple says, how many clucks per hour is the speed limit on the Henway? The Big Uke says, Edmonton Sports. Bakak! The Big Maple says, first golf game I ever played on a system besides Golden Tee was PGA Tour on Windows 3.1, the old Packard Bell. Matt Hyman says, excellent. This is very good, everybody. This is very, very good.
This is good work.
You
know what? This team deserves this. It's good work.
I should let people know, of course, the Oilers play tomorrow against Nashville. If you happen to miss the news earlier, just to recap, Arvidsson did not practice today. Knobloch said 50-50 for tomorrow. I haven't seen any notice about a call-up or anything, which leads me to believe either he'll be fine or they'll go 11-7 with 7D. They don't have an extra forward on the roster right now. The Oil Kings finally have a home game tonight, by the way, for the first time since October 17th. So if you're sitting around thinking, do I need to go out tonight? What could I do? You could go to Rogers Place and support the Oil Kings. They actually did fairly well with all these consecutive road games that they played, and then they're not home again after this until next Wednesday. They're away this weekend. So oilkings.ca to look at their schedule. Give them some support. I think they're building up again here after a couple down years following when they were up. That's how junior hockey goes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do we have another picture?
Oh, no. There's just.
What is Kub doing?
Norman at Combine says this show is scrambled.
Yeah, really well. And we're still pretty young here.
Now, am I walking here? I'm probably walking right into this one too. Grumpy Cat, I have a calendar to show you, inspiration for you, but you have to choose to see the calendar. Is that some sort of a reference?
Oh, we're probably being set up to sound foolish.
Yeah. That's okay. Okay.
Or is this going to be like, take the blue pill or the red pill?
Oh,
I don't know, Lawrence Fishburne.
Maybe that's what it is. Well, I got a goof up for you.
So do I.
Yeah. Henway. I mean,
well, that's okay. I fell for it too.
That was fun.
I wrote down. Oh, I said sports update twice or something like that. I said we have to do an update. Here comes the sports update. Instead of saying we have to do a break, here comes the sports update.
Fair.
I'm a big old goofball.
I think in one of those break sports updates, I said Los Angeles Raiders, LA Raiders, not LV, Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, they're now in Vegas.
Very minor.
Well, and they were in Oakland before. They went Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas. So you were a couple cities ago.
Yeah, you were a couple decades ago.
And I knew it was Las Vegas, too. I'm like, LA, why did I? Anyways, yeah, that was my one goop.
Where's Al Davis when you need him? That's what he's doing. All right. This show was an absolute blast. Of course, we're back from 3 to 6 tomorrow. At 6 o'clock tomorrow night, we have the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan to lead into the Oilers and the Predators. And, of course, live programming resumes here from the James H. Brown studio at 6 a.m. with the Nielsen Show. On behalf of Zachary Kubusch and Jay Milne, I'm Reid. Have a clucky evening.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.